wonder what, I don't know who Christine is. I'm also sick and tired of the amount of division that these two people have decided to cause all over the fucking internet, because this time last year, many of us on TikTok were all part of a community of people who were Democrats and leftists and just trying to stand up for what's right. I mean, there's a slew of groups that were split and fractured apart because of these two people. And I participated in that in the beginning. That's very true. And when I woke up to what Erin D and Randy were doing, it has been nothing but repeated attempts to put out my information, to traumatize me with my gunshot. And it's not the first time. I'm sorry, Tammy. And if I had any part in what happened to you as well, I'm sorry. I don't want that to happen. But like, the reality is that they have consistently just destroyed whole communities. For what? Because Erin D had a 3-week relationship with Adam Warlock, and when Adam Warlock said, "I'm sorry, I want to date other people," she felt scorned, and she waited from June until October. Apparently, I'm going to do Surviving Erin D today as well. She waited from June until October to tell anyone, which is fine. If she experienced a problem, had to wait, that's fine. But she shopped her idea around until she found someone who would fight for her. That's what really happened. And we all know that that's what happened, because there are many people who have said, "Oh, she tried to tell me about it, but I wouldn't say anything because she didn't provide enough proof." But she took a situation that I was in, and with Swervin, which was not great, and I don't really want to go into detail about that. She took that situation and used that to her advantage. And then now, when we realized that she was lying, she spent 5 months crying about that, and she made an account. She made an account called Messy Jessie 836, where she put out my address next to pictures of the guy who shot me. And she did the same thing to J Mitch. And when that came to a problem for her, because in Canada, they have much stricter laws than they do here, especially when it's against an Indigenous woman, which, by the way, J Mitch is an Indigenous woman, and the cops knocked on her door. This dumb, never mind, I'll get banned for saying that, thought that she would go on the internet and claim, "Oh, I was swatted." It's not swatting when you break the law. You're just dumb. And Randy, the two of them have used the same login for his YouTube all the time. Anyone who is in J Mitch's Discord can tell you that that's true. Yeah, I don't recommend talking to them. Now Randy's on YouTube posting videos from the guy who shot me, Facebook, and on his Instagram as well, as if he has a right to back up that guy because he claimed that it was PTSD from being driven off the road. No, what the guy said was the cops were after him, and I was one of those cops. That's what he told the police. None of that is true. That's not what he said in the dash cam footage that I have heard, because the guy that shot me had a dash cam. I've gone off track of what I was ranting about. He did, in fact, have a dash cam, and I've heard that. He shot me for almost accidentally running him off the road. Not because it was PTSD. He thought it was funny. He laughed about it. He sang about it. So Randy thinks that him and Erin can put together these videos about what happened and call me a liar when they weren't there. And then to like judge Rick because Rick had posted in early 2022, or it might have even been 2021. The video, the dude Facebook live streamed himself with the cops, which is fine. You shot me. The cops were coming. You didn't want to get yourself shot. I guess you're going to put it on Facebook. I get that. Rick posted that on his YouTube in 2021. Rick was the person I called. The first person I got on the phone when I was shot. Had him there because it was 6 hours away from my home. I don't know why this fucking idiot, either one of them, think that they get to determine exactly who can and cannot speak on my behalf. I'm the only one who can do that. Unlike Erin's bullshit fucking stuff, I actually have experienced this trauma. Hello, Jen. I'm very angry.
Yeah, I just woke up and I saw your video. Is Randy trying to say that that guy did what he did because he has PTSD?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
That guy shot me because he has PTSD from being run off the road. That's what he's trying to say. Yep.
Oh, so that's okay?
Oh, it's not okay, but that's the reason.
Oh.
And he also said he's going to have the same person who looked up Sarah Wales' information is looking into my information, which we all know is Toaster Chris. So he's having another person dig into my information about the shooting for what? To determine what? The guy shot me. He took a plea deal. He's going to go to jail for 5 to 10 years.
So everything so like with Erin, you know, for months we sat there and listened to Erin, listened to what she went through. She admitted, you know, I did this, I did that. Was it all a lie? I mean,
there are a couple of truths about what happened, and I've maintained this the entire time. Adam Warlock was like being shitty about women. He was dehumanizing them. He was talking about all of these women that were desperate for his man bits. Oh, that's interesting, Jen. He was gross, right? That's true. Rudy said some shit he never should have said, which I've talked to him about. That's true too. But what's not true is there was never revenge porn that she can provide proof of. She never provided proof. Her proof that he did something was her saying to him, "Oh, I guess you're going to sell my pictures like you threatened to." No proof of him threatening to sell her photos. Never said. There's even a screenshot of him saying that he feels like she's only using him as a masturbation tool.
do you think there was like money involved in that too?
No.
Between them both?
Not that I know of.
Because, man, for months, we all sat there and we were, you know, everybody put on their, you know, for their picture, you know, I stand with Erin, and just went on for months and months and months. And I believed every single thing.
I know. Me too.
Well, here's what happened is we sat down one day and decided to go through all her screenshots that she provided and put them in order. And once you put them in order and really go through them, it's like, ma'am, you're just a woman scorned. Did Adam Warlock say some, like, not so nice things? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I can't believe her husband took her back after everything. Or boyfriend, whatever in the fuck he is.
And I think people forget the fact it was a 3-week texting relationship.
But that's
3 weeks.
still,
Yes.
I mean, come on. Like, I would never do that. I've been married for 29 years. Not one time have I ever thought, well, I'm going to, you know, get it on with another guy on the internet, you know, because, well, I'm married.
She also told him, Adam Warlock, that is, when he was trying to break things off with her, she told him that she was going to leave her family for him and that they would understand because they wanted her to be happy.
Oh, my God.
It's in the messages. People posted it on the internet. They posted the proof of it. And Erin's going to cry about this live, and she just needs to know that nobody cares anymore because the things that she has done to other people in her pursuit of justice for Adam Warlock is disgusting. It's 1,000 times worse than what Adam Warlock did to her, which was not want to be in a relationship.
It just makes me mad because I believed everything that was coming out of their mouth. And then everything just started...
Can I jump in real quick?
They started contradicting themselves.
Yeah, Justin. Go ahead, Justin.
Just real quick, and then I'm going to jump down because, you know, safety first, then teamwork.
Yeah.
Allegedly, Adam did send pictures. I don't know what was happening in them because they were redacted. But of Adam and another woman. Yep. And Erin created a video. It's still on her account. I pointed out to Tifties that Erin is doing the revenge porn, and Tifties blew me off like I was some fucking moron. So I just want to throw that out there that if there is revenge porn, it's Erin posting it of Adam and another woman that I'm sure that did not consent to it.
Now, is Tiff still, you know, with Erin and Randy?
Still in the comments section.
Yeah, she is still in there as far as I've seen.
Hey, Jen.
Miss
Oh my God, it's both Jen.
social justice warrior.
Hi, Jen. I miss you.
Hi, Tammy.
I miss you so much. You know.
I miss you too. Do you still have the same phone number?
Huh?
Do you still have the same number?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'll text you later then.
Okay, me and Christine used to text all the time, and she thinks I did something that I didn't, and I loved her, and man, it kills me. So I distance myself from everybody because, man, there was just so much drama between both groups.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I didn't want to be part of it because I hate drama.
A lot of people stopped wanting to be part of it because it was so harmful. I didn't when we first all started going together to fight this. When listen, Bama did some shit I don't agree with, but when Bama and his friends broke away from the group, I didn't realize what was happening until later, and that was that Erin D was so mad and so worried that they would put out information that would ruin her lives that she had to try to fight against them. And then she did the same thing to Goldie. And then she did it to the rest of us. And I wish I would have realized what was happening with Goldie or Bama, because it would have prevented a lot of damage to them too. But,
Well, and let's not forget all the messed up shit she did to Jackie.
Jackie.
My heart goes out to her. Genuinely.
Me too. And look, Jackie
That was just awful.
Yeah. And Jackie and I had a fight. You know, one of the things that was really fucking weird, and I started talking about this, is that Randy and Erin would come into the Discord that we had together to yell at us about whatever. And I had been in Randy's live, and I was giving Jackie shit, and she was very upset. So I reached out to her on Discord because I was responsible for that level upset. So I reached out to her and I started talking to her because I upset her and I wanted to make sure that she was okay. And I thought maybe we can discuss stuff like an adult. And you know what Erin and Randy did? They tried to tell me that I wasn't allowed to talk to her. You can't talk to her. That's going to be a problem. For who? For who?
He's not trying to walk in without dropping any blocks.
I don't get that.
They did the same thing. Well, they did it a couple other times too. Okay, Jen.
Chrissy in the lead, then right on her tail.
I don't really understand in what fucking world these people think that it's okay to take videos of the guy who shot me and put them on his YouTube and Instagram and say that I am lying about it. I was literally shot.
And you was one of their biggest supporters.
Yes. Well, that's the problem, Tammy, is that when I realized that Erin was lying to us, we collectively, a group of us collectively realized it. I was, because I have like a moral fucking code for myself, I felt obligated to come forward and say, this was not true. And there's a lot of people who, whether they like me or not, know that I am telling the truth. And so when I did that, it ruined her credibility. So it's my fault that people don't like her, but it's her fault for lying.
Now Chrissy is back in the lead.
Now, is Grammy still with Randy?
I don't know.
Because I haven't seen, like, on my For You page, like, when I scroll, Randy, he still pops up in his lives, but I never see Grammy in his live. I see Grammy on her own live. And I miss Grammy. I like Grammy.
I liked Grammy too, but she was with him for a while, but I blocked her a couple months ago just because I didn't want Erin and Randy to have access to me. Over Mother's Day weekend, it's really funny because they put out screenshots of this occurring that shows that they were lying. Over Mother's Day weekend, Erin came into the Discord and she says on Friday, if I get doxxed again, it's going to be this server's fault, and then leaves. Okay, like we were like, what the fuck are you talking about right now? And then she didn't come back all weekend. So until Sunday, when she came into chat and started demanding that we send her recordings of lives we were supposed to have been tasked with over the weekend, I guess. And those lives were people saying nasty, fucking, disgusting shit about me, and I had reached my limit, and I had already told her that a week ago. So we were like, hold on a second. There's a bunch of other people in this Discord who are dealing with shit from these lives. We don't really have time for your recordings right now. And she told us that she couldn't be in the Discord because she was too busy on the phone with Randy all weekend, planning what she was going to do about everyone. Then she said she couldn't be on the Discord because her husband wouldn't let her be on the phone on the weekends. Hadn't we noticed? No, because you were all the time. Then she told us that she couldn't be on the Discord because her husband was recording all of her calls. You mean the calls that you're on with Randy? That you just told us that you were on all weekend and bragging about? What the fuck? But in her messages that she showed, it's her and Randy talking about, oh, I'm not going to go into the Discord because I'm mad at Sass. And Sass knows it. I didn't fucking know it. I didn't know shit because you didn't tell me. And then she also was saying about how, oh, I'm only going to come into the Discord when they give me these recordings. And they were plotting about how Randy was going to share his trauma because that would get us all to shut up about her not being around. It was fucking gross.
In survivor history, you had exhaustion.
I don't think her husband monitors her. I think that's a lie.
Right. But she kind of, I get the way I always saw it, like she wears the pants in her house. You know what I'm saying?
Probably. I don't. At this point, I'm not diagnosing her with narcissistic personality disorder, but a lot of the behaviors that she puts forth are narcissistic. It's just narcissism. It's continual fucking all about how she could do no wrong and everyone's out to get her and how dare anyone speak up against her. Well, guess what? Y'all are fucked up for what you're doing on your YouTube.
I haven't watched one of his YouTubes in months. It got to be the same thing over and over again with the same people. It was either with when the shit with Erin, and then it was the shit with London, and then Jen.
Do you know how many people were fighting with London because Randy told us she had done all this stuff? That wasn't true, by the way, which is also a thing I have to now fucking apologize for, which is fine. I don't mind admitting when I'm wrong. What I do mind is believing people when they're lying.
Right. And I believed everything that Randy said.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I was rude to London because of Randy. Well, she also did. There's some issues with my other friend Karen. That also isn't okay. That's a separate thing. Specifically, it started with the stuff because of Randy. And she, like we all. Oh God. Here's another thing. Jen Dove, who is supposed to be terrible according to them, I've been talking to for months. I reached out to Jen Dove because I noticed on Randy's YouTube that Jen was, even though our groups of friends did not like each other, we did not like each other because of all of that shit, was in the comment section being like, defending me on some of the stuff once I came out with the truth. And I wanted to let her know how she could get the videos off of YouTube, which, by the way, if Randy's posting your videos on YouTube and you don't want them on there, just copyright claim them. If they're posted on TikTok or if you're live, post your live on YouTube on your own channel and then copyright claim it. He'll have to take it down. That's why his channel keeps going down. It's because I've told myself and Justin have told people this. Thank you, Maji, for letting us know. Have told people all about this, and that's what they're doing. So I reached out to Jen. I was like, hey, this is what you can do. And then we've been talking ever since.
Jen's a great person. Like, I love Jen. She's like the only one out of, like, because I used to be in the group with Tina. You know Tina, right?
Tina Mouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
But because of the whole thing with Randy, because I was talking to Randy, they all, like, you know, said, fuck you, Tammy, whatever. And I wasn't going to deal with it, so I just stopped talking to them. But Jen is the only one that I genuinely still talk to, and I still got her on my Facebook. Christine don't talk to me no more, which Christine is Scorpio blue. Have you seen her? You know who I'm talking about?
Yes. Scorpio Blue, I have blocked. She was trying to be nice to me, and I thought she was being sarcastic because of all of this shit a while ago. So she has me blocked. I unblocked her today. But one day Root, Dr. Root was being a fucking transphobe, and I went into his live and told him to stop fucking doing it. And Frankie was there. Frankie, part of London's Friends at the time, had obvious issues because I was part of these people's group. For fuck's sake. And it didn't really matter because he was being transphobic, and Frankie was very upset about what he was saying to them. And I was in there defending Frankie, and so we had like a truce way back then. Social Security. Randy and Erin don't want people to talk to one another. Erin's kryptonite is when people communicate. See, she thought that leaving Discord over Mother's Day weekend would make us all scared. Nobody was scared. It was so relieving because we were all able to finally communicate what we were experiencing individually from her, and we were able to put together what she was doing. And when we did that, and we were like, holy shit, she's been lying to us. That's when she left the Discord.
I don't like people telling me who I can and can't talk to.
No.
I'm going to talk to whoever in the fuck I want. I don't really care. It's fucking TikTok. But right now, I see it more of like beg talk because of all the people begging for fucking money.
Oh, I was going to put my Cash App in this live.
Have you seen all them people, though? Seriously.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of people do end up getting money. So, like, it works.
That pisses me off.
Oh, I fixed the mermaid pack.
I mean, I could see it if you really seriously need help, but a lot of these people are like, there's this black girl, oh God, what is her name? I can't remember her name. But she's asking for $10,000 for her to get her implants out, $5,000 for a car. She wants $10,000 so she can get an apartment because she's homeless, but she's staying in it. She's got a house. She's staying somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily agree with a lot of it per se, but I also don't. Like, if people are going to give them money, then they give them money. There's been issues on this app. There was a, I don't know if you know. You probably know Jeff. Seahawk. And, this shit that went down with him last year. Some of the people who... Seahawk. Some of the people who gave him money didn't care. They were like, I gave him that money freely. And that was made a big deal about by Bama, and some people were upset. But at the end of the day, if I give somebody money and they don't use it for what they said they did, I just won't give them money again.
I just don't get it, because fuck, I'm struggling. It's Christmas and oh God, I just had to pay a fucking $1,000 deductible on my car because I had a car wreck.
Oh man.
But I'm not on here begging for fucking money,
I mean, maybe you should. I did have a GoFundMe when I was shot, which went towards medical bills and other expenses. Hey Press Fairy. Because I had just started a job, which brings me back full circle to why I'm so fucking pissed today. I had just started a job. I'd been in a job for a month. I'd gone out to Pittsburgh to visit my girlfriend, who was not yet my girlfriend at the time. And, she was, but we hadn't acknowledged it yet because that's just how we function. I'd driven out to Pittsburgh, and I was on my way home from Pittsburgh. I was a half an hour from our house, 2 hours into my trip because I went to a bird store first. When I was shot.
You and your birds.
I know. When I was shot, and I didn't have any health insurance because I'd only been at my job for a month. So I did do a GoFundMe for that, but I think that that's fucking pretty justified.
I set up a GoFundMe in January. My sister had died in January. She was a double amputee. She didn't fight. You know, she just gave up and was like, I'm done. She ended up passing January 22nd. She didn't have no, insurance, no nothing. She was in a nursing home. She had $35 to her name. And when she died, nobody else in my family wanted anything to do with it. So I was like, well, she deserves a funeral. Mm-hmm. So I had her cremated. She's in my kitchen. But I got it half price because, she didn't have no legs. But
that's not funny.
Her funeral was like $2,900. It was like $2,900. I'm paying off. I've only paid 200, 300, and then I got 400. I only got 400 on the GoFundMe. But I'm still paying on it, and I'll pay on it because that was my sister.
Yeah.
We didn't have a good relationship up until the past 2 years, and I tried helping her. I'd take her to the hospital. She'd check herself out because she was an alcoholic. Go to a bar. And I live in not too far from Cincinnati, but it got to where she was only able to go to one hospital. Out of all the hospitals in Cincinnati, she was only able to go to one hospital because she wasn't allowed to go to any others because she checked herself out. But I tried to help her as much as I can. But, everybody deserves a funeral. Everybody deserves a final goodbye. And there was only literally 3 people of my family that come to her funeral. And it was sad.
Yeah, asking for help. It is sad that no one did go. But I agree with Hannah. Asking for legitimate help is fine. I think that's okay. I have my Cash App in my bio, and it says help me get a 3D printer. And I really put that in there to piss somebody off who was just rage posting about money. But if I did get money donations towards a 3D printer, I'm gonna buy a 3D printer because some people do use TikTok as their means of money, and I would love to monetize my TikTok as a side gig. But I am gonna go back to the shooting. So Tuesday is the 2-year anniversary of when I was shot, and last year I had a hard time all of October into November and beginning of December. This year it didn't start until the beginning of the second week in November, where I just the PTSD in my head has a sound and it's fucking loud and I can't hear anything else. I don't know if that makes sense to other people. I think other people who have experienced PTSD do understand that because me and Mrs. Diesel have talked about it. It's so loud, and I don't have a lot of my emotional control is not the same as when I'm not experiencing that. And so for this fucking these trash people to then go and find videos of the guy who shot me and post them on the internet to call me a liar, starting on Thursday, is fucked up. And today, Randy decided to make a PSA type video where he went on the internet and tried to say that the reason that it took my partner back in 2021 had posted the dude who got arrested, shot me, went on Facebook Live when he was getting arrested. And my partner in 2021 or early 2022 posted that on his own YouTube channel. The guy who I texted and was like, I was shot while I'm on the phone with 911. That guy posted it on his YouTube. And so Randy is trying to say the reason that people are mad at him for posting that and some of this guy's Facebook videos, which did not come from Rick's YouTube, is because Rick is white and Randy is black. Well, let me tell you what. My partners, both my boyfriend and my girlfriend, are allowed to post whatever the fuck they want about the shooting because those were the people who were closest to me, who were directly impacted, who were there at the hospital, who My boyfriend had to drive out to Pittsburgh, stayed with my girlfriend. They fed him, clothed him. He didn't bring anything with him. He got in the car and drove 6 hours. Not a single, not even a pack of cigarettes. And he smokes. Not an extra pack of cigarettes. Not clothes. Not a toothbrush. None of that. None of that. Drove out to make sure he was at the hospital when I woke up. And he was the first face I saw when I came out of anesthesia, and the first words out of his mouth were, "They got him." Okay, so I don't know why the fuck these fucking idiots think that they have any right to post shit from Rick's YouTube, who's not on TikTok, by the way, who has nothing to do with any of this shit, and act like they're fucking justified.
So what made Randy do this?
I don't know. I think they were planning to do it. They were most likely planning to do it because the anniversary is coming up. I don't know, because I fucking am minding my own business. Erin's trying to say that I doxed her 3-year-old child. Only her 3-year-old, though. The other children apparently just don't fucking matter. I just doxed her 3-year-old. I don't know what that means, by the way. I didn't dox her child. She's blaming me for all of these troll accounts that I never fucking made, which she knows because she has all of my troll accounts. So if I made the troll account that doxed her 3-year-old, which we actually think Erin did it. I'm tired of being quiet about this shit. She has blamed so many other people she was mad at for making an account with her 3-year-old's name that the only thing I can imagine is that she did it her own self so that she could gain sympathy and get other people mad, because that's what she does. I haven't responded to any of that publicly. I haven't responded to them publicly in a little while either. And so I think they're just desperate for my fucking attention.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Do you go to therapy?
Yes.
Okay.
I have an appointment with my trauma counselor on Monday, which I haven't needed to have an appointment with my trauma counselor in like 6 months. And I thought that I was going to weather the storm of the anniversary without needing to, because I have plenty of tools for dealing with PTSD. What I don't have tools for dealing with is this shit.
Right.
We do have unofficial group therapies. That's true. It's true, we do.
There's nothing wrong with going to therapy. I mean, some people just need it. I need it. I got PTSD from my childhood. My mom didn't what's the word? Protect me,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So like when I was 17, I left home. I was gone, never came back. I did forgive my mom though when I was 25 because I had to go on with my life. But
I mean, I have 2 therapists. And I do have unofficial group therapies with my friends. We talk about this shit all the time. I mean, it's so crazy to me. He also said that he was going to have the same person who looked up Sarah Wales' information. Sarah Wales is a pedophile. To look me up.
I heard that too.
I mean, that's true. That's like honest to goodness the truth. Man, Erin hated when we were pursuing that to make sure that that was handled correctly. She hated that she wasn't getting the attention. When we held the live, the first words out of her mouth was, "Good, we can finally get back to my stuff." That's what she said.
It's not always about Erin.
Oh, she thinks it is. She fucking thinks it is. Randy also said, besides saying that why is the person that lives in the house allowed to post the guy that shot Morgan? Because he fucking can. He also said that he was going to have the same person who looked up that person's information look into this. You mean Toaster Chris? You're going to have a conservative, transphobic person who is routinely transphobic in Randy's live look up a trans person's information about a shooting, and then you're going to broadcast it on live.
Well, karma. Just karma. It'll come back.
First of all, what they're doing, like, you don't have to be involved in the crime for this to be classified under both federal and the state that I'm in, intimidation of a witness. This is what they're doing. And if they contact him, which I am concerned about that, they probably already have, then not only are they in a lot of fucking trouble, but so is he. because he's out on bail at this time. He's been out on bail for almost 2 years now. And
Do you know where he is?
yes.
Do you have a protection order?
His bail, part of his bail agreement is a protection order.
Okay. Like how many feet?
I don't remember.
Feet.
Because he lives out in Pittsburgh. I don't
Oh, okay.
remember.
So he hasn't tried to contact you or anything?
No.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
But
No,
Erin
but
and Randy put out their address along with the picture.
Yeah. Aaron
Of
made
their
an
house.
account. Aaron made an account called Messy Jessie. It's still fucking up, where it has not just mine, but also J Mitch's address, Google Street View of my fucking house with pictures of the guy who shot me.
Oh my God.
And we know it was her too, by the way. This isn't just conjecture like her claiming all these troll accounts are me. They're dumb. Erin posted a screenshot of her doing a search for something, and it had her Google picture, which was the letter E with a blue background at the time, in the screenshot. They also posted screenshots from YouTube while they were logged into it, which has like analytics on it, which you can't normally see. Like, they're so fucking dumb.
And they were Canadian websites too.
That's right. They were the Canadian websites. That's kind of like, she's blaming me for these 3 accounts she said that just popped up and were doxing her information. But what they were station accounts. And they weren't me who did this. I saw the accounts as well. It was station accounts that she had been using, and she had changed the information on, which was against station's rules of these accounts, and using them to report people, to record lives, to, like, she spent 12 hours going through Swervin's videos one day on one of those accounts. It was posted on the page. Like, and she's saying that account has, like, also doxed her. No, it didn't. They put out screenshots and said, hey, there's a Google Drive with all of this information on it. And then Erin, thinking she was sneaky, very dumb, decided to go back into my Google Drive, which I had removed her and Randy from, but I hadn't changed like the names of stuff, so the links weren't the same. I didn't know that. I didn't know she still had access, but they still had access to one of my folders called TikTok Lives. People know that I record lives. That's not fucking news. They did put Travis putting your information out on the tee. They encouraged Travis. They were encouraging Travis to go into Punks' lives, and then got mad at us that he would. And then Erin told Travis to go record that live, and then came back and told Randy she didn't. Like, it's in the messages. Like, why would they send Travis in there? You told him to go in there. What the fuck? But I lost my train of thought. Karen, what was I talking about? Which event?
The 12 hours of Swerve.
Oh, she had 12 hours of her going down Swervin's page. Oh, she went into my Google Drive. She goes into my Google Drive, and then she makes an account called Glasshouse08, where she puts a video up of her going into my Google Drive. So she goes into a space where she was specifically told she's not fucking welcome, goes into it, and then makes a video of her, like, deleting all of my content in there, including the folder I have of the Sass Show, where I have my research, the show ideas, my lives. She made a video of her deleting it. But she's dumb, because she changed her Google picture to go fuck yourself. But what she doesn't realize is it still had her Google Gmail name, which is why I made a video of, like, you did this. This is fucking creepy. You have
still
a problem.
Had Erin Gmail, yeah.
Yeah, you don't go into spaces that people have removed you from and said that you're not fucking welcome. Like, you don't do that. I don't understand why that's okay. I'm an asshole, and I really will forever laugh about this because it's fucking funny. So I moved everything out of there, which wasn't anything new. They had one live that was new, which they already had. I removed everything, put it in a separate folder, made a video, said, hey, Erin thinks it's a big deal. She got in this folder like I'm supposed to be scared. She got shit she shouldn't have. Anyone wants this information, I'll give you the link. DM me. Nobody fucking, Mrs. Diesel got it, made sure it worked. Nobody else DM'd me for it. Nobody cares. So in the folder that they had a link to, I made a little short video, and the first clip was a picture of her so that the thumbnail would look like a picture of her, because I knew she was going to go back into it after I told her to stay out. And the next picture was my bare ass saying, "Kiss my ass. Erin D's a stalker." And I put that in every folder, and I gave it a different name. Like, if you share this, it's revenge corn, because if you shared it, it would be revenge corn. And I think that's fucking hilarious. And they tried to be like, "Oh, Morgan showed us their ass without our permission." No, you can't walk into my house and then cry because I'm naked. I still think it's fucking hilarious. Don't fucking go into spaces where you were told you're not welcome. Don't do that.
In London, you should be in here. Don't worry about it.
Oh, I thought that it was, I couldn't find it on my block list, so I thought maybe you had me blocked. I legitimately was trying to unblock you before I went live. I think Karen can attest to that. I don't know why I feel like I have to defend that. Like, I literally.
Yeah, no, it was a solid 5 to 10 minutes of going through people.
I have mods in here that could probably look at my block list and see if they could find London.
Yeah, let me go see if I can find it.
Because I literally couldn't find it. Settings, blocked accounts.
I'm going through it, Sass.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you guys. They're gonna find it for you, London.
Is hilarious? Is that the one I'm looking for?
I think London is hilarious, or it's London.
I just wish everybody can just get along.
So you know what's funny about that, Tammy? Me too. Because a few months ago, or like a month ago, I was like, we should make a Discord server. I was talking to my friends about it, specifically, believe it or not, so that we could talk with London and her friends, actually, called Turf Wars. Joking name, because I'm a smartass. And that it would be like a neutral place where we know that people may be sneaky and put out screenshots, but we need to, be aware of that going into it, where we could work out our shit off app. Because when I reached out to Jen Dove and we started communicating and we have a friendship now. I think I can say that. I think that's fair. I realized that, like, how much easier is it for me to just go to someone and say, "Hey, this happened," instead of playing the fucking games that Erin and Randy did and find out what the fucking truth is. Thank you, Jen. Yeah.
Well, they just can't let it go. That's the problem. They won't let it go. They will not let it go, and they have no intention.
If Erin lets it go, what else does she have? So
nothing. She has nothing.
Nothing. She was going to leave her family for a man she texted for 3 weeks.
Quote chasing on women's trauma. That part too. She still has that.
Working hard, trying to get something going.
I'm hoping that we find this account, because it would be so much easier, honestly.
I am way far down this list. I'm still looking.
I tried to just. If somebody, no, I'd have to that fucking gross comment. And so we multiple people did talk to him about how terrible that comment was, and he was like, "I'm going to make an apology video," which I don't think he ever did. I thought he did. I don't know. Anyway,
hello.
Shit. Hi.
So that wasn't the first time that Randy had hit me. And that,
sure.
I think that's sort of what's more concerning is this was after he had gone to Commander Chaos. He'd been in a live where he had made some "she's a supremacist" comments, which honestly, when I first heard him, sort of made me laugh. I was like, that's hilarious that some guy that doesn't have any idea who I am, but used to show up in my makeup lives. It's funny how that script has now changed, because he was welcome in my lives. So I don't understand how we would get those vibes. And Commander Chaos is sort of who started it. She had a live and I was in there and I got booted. And then it led to someone else being in Julie's live, and she was like, oh, I can't be on the same platform as a white supremacist. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? I was like, I don't understand where that is coming from, or what I've said that remotely gives anybody the vibes that I'm. And there was a whole bunch of shit that went around, like I apparently host some sort of white supremacist organization in Vegas, which is
that is a rumor that I've heard. Not from Randy.
Yeah, I don't. I don't attend.
Didn't you have dreads at one time, or do you still have dreads?
No, I don't have dreads right now, but again, that doesn't have the same connotation as me wanting to unalive a race of people.
Right.
They're not the same thing.
Well, I know that there's like, and I probably not on this live. I also know that there's probably shit between you and Karen that you may or may not want to work out. I definitely was talking earlier that I owe you an apology for perpetuating shit from Randy, and I am sorry for that. I believed him at the time, and then we had our perspective sides, so we were just by default fighting each other. I think I don't even know how it came to that.
No, and that's honestly, that's one of the most dangerous things about TikTok, right? Is you become friends with somebody, they tell you something, and
you believe them.
Yeah, you kind of pick a side. And I know that sounds dreadful, but how would you not know, right? Like it goes back to being 5 years old and that kid in class saying to you, oh, I don't like him, he smells funny. You don't even smell him. You just agree with your friend that he smells funny, right? Like it's the exact same logic. We don't investigate, and we don't do anything of, on our own. And so to sort of run with that logic and just go, okay, well, this is what happened, so I'm going to form an opinion and run with it. Have I done it? 100%. There's probably 20 people on this app that I'm like, okay, well, I'm just not going to fuck with those people. Like it is what it is. But if I was in the same space as them, I wouldn't cause an issue or bring it up in the live. I've been in numerous lives with people I don't agree with however they feel, but it's their choice to feel that. I'm not going to make that a big deal, by showing up in a live to purposely defame or embarrass that individual. And that's kind of the thing that sort of irritated me was, and I've said it numerous times, like I'm available on everything. My Discord was up in my profile it might even still be there, I don't know. But not one person sent me a message and said, hey, I've heard this. Not one. So how can it be that is so important that when I show up in a comment section, you can say it out loud in front of 400 people, but you don't have the balls to message? And I'm not talking about you, Sass. I'm talking about in general with other people. How do you not have the balls to message me and be like, hey, I did the investigation. That's not accurate.
I always had a way of dealing with shit that I lost in the beginning of the year, and I kind of took a break from trying to deal with shit in general for a while, and I've gone back to the ways to do it, which is like, if somebody says or does something that is towards me that's a problem, or is problematic in general, I like DM them. And I'm like, hey, this thing wasn't cool, or did this happen? And with Erin and Randy and all that shit, there was never time to stop and think about, what are we doing here? It was always, here's another fight, here's another problem.
Because Randy made it to where we had to follow Randy. We had to, accept everything that he said, believe everything that he said. And it was kind of like a brainwashing kind of thing.
There was a lot of manipulation.
He's a great manipulator. I'll give him that. Because he's convinced people who don't even know who I am that I'm a problem. Like, he has said things that are so obscenely untrue and repeated this narrative that, to be honest, I don't even know what the fucking narrative is anymore. I honestly don't. I honestly don't.
Randy's whole thing with you, London, was because of the whole Rudy and, you know, that's when it started with you.
It was way before that. I mean, we're going to, I mean, I have my own personal opinion, but again, it didn't involve Randy, and it was back in November, and it stemmed from Bring Facts. And me and Bring Facts were fine. Everything was good. I reached out to him. He invited me to his server. Something happened between me and somebody else, but that was it. I didn't bring it on app. I completely ignored it. I moved on, and then 2 people from the server carried it on, brought it onto TikTok, and it fucking blew up from there. So we're talking like, what, a year? Exactly a year, when 3 months before that, this man was in my lives that I would host about Roe v. Wade, saying nice things and being very complimentary. So something went on between those 4 months. I think it had something to do with Tiffany's, if I'm honest, because she was the first person that I had a problem with.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I gotta get off here. My grandbaby's here. Hi, baby.
Enjoy that time. Enjoy that
time.
time.
What are you doing? I gotta get off here. Ladies, I will talk to you later.
Bye, Tammy.
Thank you, Tammy. I wouldn't be surprised if it had to do with I can't, my boxes don't work. I wouldn't be surprised if it had to do with Tifties, because there's some of the stuff with Karen was perpetuated by Tifties. And it's not my thing to speak on. I just know that it's true.
Yeah, she was 100% behind that. She was 100% behind that, and she did a very good job. And that's unfortunately something that you also see, is that people who are capable of doing the same thing tend to flock together, both negatively and positively.
Yeah, I can acknowledge now that I was manipulated, 100% manipulated.
100%. I won't disagree with that. The sad thing is that it didn't matter what I said to you, you couldn't see it. And that's what made it worse.
Listen,
that's what made it worse.
I've given up on being relatively quiet about this. Obviously, Susie, hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Sass Show, the crossover that no one thought was ever going to happen.
No, we are in the upside down. I just dropped a video. Hopefully it'll distract. So, you know, just giving you an FYI. Tried to point out a few things, and basically said, you want to go? Let's do this. Let's roll.
Yeah, I'm for it. I mean, you know, I went through a period of my life where my shit got completely annihilated business side because I tried to defend shit. And now I'm doing so much better off app that if my business goes down on TikTok, I'm not really fucking concerned about it.
I think that I'll speak for some of the group, even though the group is like a problematic thing that happens. No one wanted to ruin your business, and I understand how that was hurtful, some of the stuff that was going on. No one wanted that to happen. I'm glad that your business is doing okay. We were talking about we should do like a charity drive, which you would win, with my sassy, crappy karma jars and your candles, because that would have been funny.
It would have been super funny. Would have been
definitely been funny.
And I mean, I've been doing it every month. I ran candles for the Trevor Project last month. You know, I pick a new charity every month and associate cents with that charity, you know, not obviously in a negative way. But I mean, I'm kicking a large amount of income, not profits, income to charities, and I'm getting clearances from these charities to do so. So if you have an idea or you pick a charity, I got zero issue in doing that. I mean, this is, to be quite honest, it's about a fucking bigger picture. It's not about fucking 50 people, right? Which is really as deep as it goes on fucking TikTok, who don't even have each other's phone numbers. Like it's there are far bigger issues in the universe than like, oh, I don't fuck with this person because I've made up a bunch of shit about him. Like that's kind of, it's really sad.
I agree.
Talking to a lot of my friends, a fun charity off watermelon. I don't have any watermelon, Jen. I don't know what that meant with the emoji. I've been talking for a long time with my friend.
That's for Palestine.
Oh, I didn't know that. I'm dumb. Wow.
The woman started that
this is why I
watermelon
didn't know
filter, and watermelon has become
Oh, the watermelon filter. That makes sense now. Thank you. I've been talking about doing this live idea for a while, and so I just changed my background real quick. It wasn't fitting right anyhow. Called Surviving Erin D, and I think Ann Randy's Twisted Tea should be on it, because there are a lot of people, not just me. I'm very angry today because Randy really has some he's an idiot.
All
the audacity. But like, there are a lot of people who Erin D and Randy together collectively have caused a great amount of harm to. And I'm not just talking about like those of us in this live. I'm also talking about people like, I don't agree with what he's doing. Like Rudy. I don't agree with what the things he said, but what happened with Rudy afterwards, what happened with Swervin afterwards, none of that shit was okay. It all went so crazy far.
Well, but here, by the way, in my video, I mention, I do recap some of that, and I was like, and a lot of this has been squashed. And if the goal was to out Warlock or somebody, he's gone. Mission accomplished. Like, so that's where I'm weird. Like, where it goes like awry for me. Like, hey, by the way, none of us have talked about that situation for a long time. Like, are there parts of the situation that are still brought up? Yeah, because it's ended up on T, right? Like, it's like they're stirring the pot. And
Susie, Susie, will you do me a favor and fucking unblock Justin? If I hear him cry about not being able to see your videos,
yes, yes, I will unblock him. I didn't even know I blocked him.
I said to him yesterday, I was like, here's Susie's video, and I sent it to him, and he's like, she's blocked me. So, and I was like, stop it.
I didn't even know I blocked him. That's the thing. Like, and so like, yeah, if there is anybody, like, I've been talking to Jen quite a bit. Like, if there is somebody that I have on block and I don't know it, because if you came in, like, summertime, I just wasn't even dealing with it. Like, just like you, Morgan, like, we're just like, let's just do this.
And, I mean,
like, and I'm making the video too. I also said, I was like, it's different. So the first part of the video, I bring up the fact that Randy brought race into it. And I said, 6 months ago, this was not about that. I go, 6 months ago, you were on Morgan's team. 6 months ago, you thought this was horrible. I was like, so stop with the performative, like, outrage about this being a person of color, blah, blah, blah. And like, you didn't pick somebody random off the internet that was, has PTSD. You picked Morgan's person. And I said, so that's gross. I go, this is different than me and Morgan slinging insults at each other. It's just different. Like, you and me calling each other weird names and trying to be like hurt each other's feelings is way different than posting what he is posting, and digging in on that person is weird.
Well,
because that was specifically done to trigger Sass. Like, specifically, they knew it doing it, and I bet they were laughing while they did
and Jen, I call you pretty in the video, just so that you know. I also talk about London's tongue. Just so that you know.
Nice.
I talk about how pretty you are and how much I love London's tongue. It is what it is.
I just wanted to tell you to leave Justin blocked and don't tell him what I told you about him last night. I was better drill drunk, so.
Listen, Jen, I can't listen to Justin cry about that either. Do you know how many times he asked me to ask Jen Dub to unblock him before we had a friendship that felt appropriate? Oh my God, it was all the time. He just wants to be friends.
Which is funny, because I have him on Discord, and I spoke to him for an extended period of time. And I
It
was
was
like,
not once. It was like 3 times.
and I was like, I immediately hung up from him and I rang someone and I was like, I just spent way too long on the phone with Justin. And they're like Justin? And I was like, yeah, like Justin. And I was like, oh, he's like a regular human being. That's very strange. I wasn't expecting that. I thought he'd be weird. But, you know, you just gotta spend the time. I'm sure he is.
He's weird, but it's like a safe weird. It's
a safe weird. It just, you know, I said this to Jen last night, and because I didn't get to say it to you yesterday. As the first of the year comes up, Morgan, and things get finalized, you're going to feel some things that you probably didn't realize you were going to feel. And I just want to make sure that you know that I'm in the background, that just particularly pertaining to your situation, I happen to know just a little, like I have insight, right, to some of what you and I talked about. So I know that it would be weird for you to reach out, but I would be a safe place for you to do that, because there would absolutely would not matter, even if tomorrow you were like, oh, we're back, you know, like you could absolutely reach out and go, I'm feeling this way, and I just don't know that anybody else understands why I'm feeling this way. That just to make sure that you know that there's somebody in the background that particularly knows exactly when it finalizes, that there are just going to be some feelings that you're just going to be like, oh my God, I didn't even know that was there.
I appreciate that a lot, Susie, because there are some things that really do go beyond the beefs and whatever. I know that you have said before that you have told people before when we were in the middle of fighting each other to not do that because it's fucked up. Like, you don't agree with it, you don't condone it, because you too have been a victim of gun violence. My friend, librarian survivor, also is a victim of gun violence, and I do reach out to her as well. I did have a moment yesterday afternoon, I think, like, post the rage of like him posting that shit and everything, like, and then the fact that we had talked to settle stuff. I don't know. There's a lot of emotion. So like yesterday afternoon from 3 till I went to bed, I was like emotionally unwell. And I was like, maybe I should reach out to Susie because she understands this too. And that was a weird feeling in the moment. But it is true that you understand some of what's going on. And I don't know if I'm prepared. I'm writing my victim impact statement finally, and I'm going to read it in the courtroom. And that's probably also going to be a lot.
Yeah. And I also brought that up to Susie last night, just by them trying to have like a quote unquote gotcha with your trauma. Not only does that like affect you, but like it affects other people who are survivors, like Susie. I'm sure Susie had some emotions about it.
Yeah.
Amber, I know Amber had some emotions about it. And it's like you are literally, your gotcha is literally hurting a whole community of survivors. And where are you at, SJW Teffers?
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things I thought too, Susie, when you reached out to me. I was like, oh, this is like when, you know, someone goes on the internet and says a bunch of crazy shit about domestic violence. Like, this is also impacting other gun violence survivors.
Well, and and I thought that your video was on point, and I was not at all upset that some of those text messages had my name in it. And I literally called London and I was like, I have to make a video, one for the fact that they can't continue to put Morgan's shooting up there. Sorry, I didn't mean to say that word, but and then two, like, I didn't want people, like, because we both have like fringe followers. And what I didn't want is for them to pause and read and then be like, oh my God, this is about, and I was like, it's not about me at all. It was about the proof, right? Like, of, hey, this is what happened. And I just my name happened to be mentioned in like a paragraph. And I was like, I think London knew that I was like in a little bit of a PTSD moment. And London was like, okay, just send it to me.
Because I think that was the part where she was trying to, but Erin's been trying to get us to fight more quite a bit. Like, I think that's really fucking obvious to anyone who's watching, that she's trying to instigate us into fighting more. And I'm like, I'm not going to fucking play your game. But I didn't even think about that when I put in there, because some of that was about the stuff between you and I, and she was saying she had never seen the video. It was from way back in January. I'm like, you lying bitch. Oh God, I said it. Why are you you literally saw it. You told me to put it on the T. That's such a lie. So yeah, I should have thought about that before I put it up.
No. Like, no, I wasn't, like, again, I was like, it was not about me, but what I didn't want is for somebody from, like, again, on the fringe that doesn't necessarily know, like, what is going on with that particular situation, that it had nothing to do with me in that moment. It was you proving a point to Erin, and I knew that. And I was like, I have to say something, one, because it's wrong, and two, because I cannot have Morgan attacked from like people that we are, TikTok friends with, because they would be defending me in a video which had zero to do with me. You know, and it has it had zero to do with whatever we argue about. Yeah.
Yeah, and I appreciate the thoughtfulness on that.
And I just want to take this opportunity. Again, I apologize to you, Jen, in your comments, and I'll apologize to you again and with my actual voice. Yeah, I said some fucked up shit about you, and I'm sorry. I didn't know you, and it was completely out of anger. And I know that they were just using what I said about you to try to get us to fight. But, like, clearly we're adult.
Yeah,
hey, we've all said some.
It's all good.
Pretty
we've
bad
all
things.
said things. Yeah.
Yeah, we've all said some pretty bad things on an emotional, outrage that, again, it's TikTok, right? Like, if Morgan and I were face to face, we would have never said the shit to each other face to face. Like, that's not how that would have worked out.
Yeah.
Susie, you can't come up here and just lie like that.
Well, I would say to London.
Like, let's not lie. Let's not lie. You would have done, it just would never have got where it needed to be.
No, because you know what would have happened if it wasn't on the internet? If there weren't people in the background who were poking and prodding to get to rage farm into more of a fight.
Right.
We would have probably had a conversation. That's what would have happened.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. Like, had the situation been different, i.e. yesterday or the day before or a week ago or whatever, if you and Susie would have ended up face to face, this shit would have all come to air.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, so for Susie to be like, oh, if I'd have, because I would have done it. I would have been like, hey, what's your fucking problem? Like, I wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Right, but there would have, but it would have just not gone, it would have gone on for 10 minutes and not
100%.
10 months, right? Like, there's, and we've all, I truly am sorry for anything that I've said or, raged farm on my side. That's a fact. Like, I said this to Jen last night. I was like, and then London was like, I tried to get you to do this 2 weeks ago. I was like, I'm really happy that we're not arguing. Like, I'm just, I don't want to hate people on the internet anymore. And I don't care, like obviously, like, we're all on the same political side. We may have various opinions that, I don't know, maybe I'll go a little bit this way, you go a little bit that way. But for the most part, we all have the same goal. Like, let's make the world better, right?
I'm a super communist. I don't associate with you all. So
Okay. If you start calling us shit libs, Jen, you're fired.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, you could, though, and I would be like, I am.
I think I need to buy a bird.
You do. And let it pick your nose.
I'm sorry.
How am I supposed to be included if I don't own a bird? I'm just saying.
This funny photo, and that's the only thing you guys can make fun of me for.
Yeah, no, that was it. I was like, I'm just gonna make fun of her photo.
Just so you know, this is literally Erin's worst nightmare. People talking that she wants to fight each other, and I just love that it's happening for...
I was just thinking, if they scroll by and someone's told them, their heads must be exploding right now.
Well, we're just going to end up on the T
all
tomorrow.
These people here. I know.
Which is fine. I'm fine with being on the T, but I do just have to get something out and off my chest, right? Because this shit seemed to have gone a bit haywire, and to be quite honest, I don't care anymore. Rudy never told me shit about Erin. And I think this needs to be said because there's some sort of weird assumption that Rudy showed up in my live to buy a candle that had some connection to Erin. And we were all laughing at the time about if you know, you know. Rudy didn't tell me anything about Erin or photos or anything along those lines. The individual that open their fucking mouth, then went into Randy's live and said, oh my God, it's disgusting. Rudy's gone and told 37 and crew about you, Erin, and, you know, stuff that you'd shared with him. That's not what happened. That individual fucking told me. So I just want to lay that out real quick, that Rudy never told me shit. And the reason that I went to Travis and told Travis that he needed to go after Warlock was to fucking divert him away from Rudy. Because the assumption for him to go after Rudy was gross. Rudy's not going to release that information.
But in London, at the same time, you were completely right. Like, and I think a lot of that was lost on all of us. Like, where's Adam?
Right.
Well, yeah. Well, but it was lost-ish because we kept being distracted, but we many times talked about, London's probably right about this. I mean, we didn't want to say it, but we did have that conversation.
That's all right. That's all right. Yeah. It's, you know, and that's really what it comes down to is, yeah, fine, be mad. But you, and again, me, Jen, fucking, there's a slew of us, right? Because I have an army of people that follow me around and I dictate what they do with their daily life. But we were all of the same thought process, that you don't get to have a relationship with someone on TikTok via text message. Go to an individual that you don't really know very well, share your story with that individual, and then be mad when that person sort of exposes your story on the internet. You don't get to be mad at those things because, hey, guess what? If you'd kept your fucking mouth shut, Rudy wouldn't have known the story.
Well,
that's the thing that sort of blows my mind.
We all talked to Rudy, myself, and you guys probably know that, Jen.
Yeah.
Me and Amber talked to him together because that was a risky conversation for me. I had a lot of apprehension about it for several reasons. And like at the end of the conversation, we all had the same agreement that like Rudy's really not lying about any of this, which is why I went and made the video I made to say, hey, this isn't true, because I don't like to be wrong, but if I am wrong and I've publicly been talking about this thing and it's not true, I'm gonna correct it, because I don't know. I like to maintain some integrity. So I know, I mean, whether I understand Rudy didn't tell you, someone else did, I believe you. Because I don't believe anything that Erin has to say.
It's just really weird that, like, it's the whole, like, well, my whole story ended up on, well, then stop talking about it. Like, here's the thing.
That's the point that I'm trying to make. Had she not gone to Rudy and been like, oh, there's this guy and I was doing this stuff via text, Rudy would never have known. And I've said it before, and I know Karen's here, and fuck it, say whatever. You got my phone number, fucking pick up the phone. But I didn't bring my divorce to TikTok. I did not bring my fucking divorce to TikTok. The people that brought it to TikTok were not me. And they were not my ex-husband.
Yeah, in fact, you very specifically did not bring it to TikTok.
Right. And so the understanding of bringing something and having something on this platform, there have been numerous things that have happened on the outside that have happened that I don't make videos about. I don't bring up. I don't have conversations about. Me and Susie, we had a situation about 4 months ago that, trust me, if it came to fucking TikTok, people would have a field day. Mm-hmm. But there is shit that just doesn't come on this app. And so if you don't want shit exposed, don't go to someone who's got 150,000 followers and be like, protect me. Don't do that. What the fuck is wrong with you?
He's not the only person she shopped her story to. She asked other people. I've had someone tell me recently that she asked them to help her call Adam Warlock out. And she did that with Rudy, but then she was like, I don't know if I want to do it this way, which was weird. Like, she also, like, the Rudy thing, the thing that was weird about the Adam Warlock to Rudy thing was that the relationship ended in June. And she claims that Adam was stalking and harassing her, which I no longer believe in any way, shape, or form. And that's why she told Rudy about it. But what actually happened is her, on her husband's account, or maybe actually her husband, we don't really know, went to Ellie, because Adam Warlock was in Ellie's live saying, hello, beautiful, and went to Ellie and said, oh, that guy's a creep. because he was flirting with Ellie, and then she told Rudy about it. Then she started shopping her story around.
I mean, outside of the fact that I think Ellie's probably big enough not to fall for some guy just saying, hey, beautiful on the internet. It comes to the point where it's like, are we here to protect everybody from anything? Or are we, do you know what I mean? Like and I'm not saying what Adam said was right or wrong. It's neither here nor there. But had Adam messaged Ellie and said like, you know, oh, I'm going to do these things to you. It works with other creators. Like there might have been a reason to sort of outline, do you know what I mean? Some sort of predatory behavior. But 9 times out of 10, the reason that predators they get away with what they're getting away with is because nobody in their proximity has received the same attention. So unless Ellie went to Erin and said, hey, do you know this guy? Which I don't believe there would have been a reason for Ellie to go to Erin and be like, hey, have you spoken to this guy? Unless there was, you know, some sort of symbolization of mutualism or something along those lines. There's no reason for Ellie to have known that Erin would have known him. So it's kind of weird that we're just telling people who we don't know are connected stuff that's got nothing to do with it. That's really strange to me. Like, that's really weird behavior to be like, hey, I know you don't know this person, but I just want to let you know in case you ever come in contact with this person, this. Okay, that was your experience.
She was 100% jealous. She was still hung up on him. Yes. He was giving attention to someone else, and she was jealous.
Oh, 100%.
He had moved on to someone else, even though their relationship was over 6 months before that.
Right, and over text message nonetheless. It's not like they were having secret weekend rendezvous. This was via text message. That's like 14-year-old behavior. Hey, a boy texted me. Now he's texting some other girl. Like, that makes me sad. You're a fucking grown-up.
Well, and that also goes to, we have to, like, take accountability for some of our own actions. There's lots of spicy pictures out there of me, and I'm honestly surprised I have not seen them on the internet myself. But if they pop up, guess what? I sent them. Would it be fair for somebody to share those? No, but I did it.
You have nice tatas. It's okay.
I mean, it happens. But that's like my whole
photos.
I'm sure they're out there somewhere.
Okay, I'm going to
have to look for them, but I'm sure they're there.
I won't bring them to the internet. I'll just keep them for my personal collection. But I wasn't aware there were photos, so I'm just saying.
I had a very public, like, TikTok relationship when I first got on TikTok, and we had a whole public meltdown. Anybody know about that? Oh, no, not if I haven't told you, because it lasted for, like, I don't know, 2 days. We didn't talk for, like, 2 months, and now we're still friends.
I will say, we used to think she was just disorganized, but I honestly think it was very tactical, the way that she shared information with us. She literally dropped 200 screenshots of messenger conversation, and all of it was out of order.
And nobody read them because we were trying to catch a predator.
Oh, no.
We were living on our Chris Hansen days.
I think we
were.
Yeah.
There was one that she dropped that it was just so discombobulated, trying to follow what the conversation was. I literally spent an hour and a half one day putting them in order and realizing that
was a waste of your life, Karen.
There were things, realizing there were things missing.
Yep. That was an utter waste of your life.
Oh, no, well, that was one of the very first things that tipped us off that things were not on the up and up.
What tipped me off was there was a video play, and I mean, I've even said it. I said it in a live. It was clipped. It was, we ran with it. But I said it to Taurus. I said, it's gross that this woman is trying to overcome trauma and it just keeps being fucking replayed. Like, that's gross. And so it gets to a point where you're like, hold on a minute. You're in control of this. Why are you keep doing? Like, if there was something there, regardless of whether Adam is an asshole, regardless, if there is something there that is legitimately predatory and not just a middle-aged man having dirty conversations with a woman who's, 5,000 miles away or however far away they are from each other, if there is something legitimately predatory about this, pick up the phone. And I know that we have this ACAB situation, but pick up the phone, because if there is legit problems, somebody out there will listen to you. Like, nobody has ever successfully won by sending a private DM on TikTok and that person's gone away for predatory behavior. That's never happened. Something larger needs to occur. So that was kind of my issue, was I was like, well, hold on a minute. I'm not seeing anything here. And regardless of how sensitive or unsensitive we want to be, I'm not seeing anything here that is problematic.
Yeah, and that is what one of the things that, I mean, I honestly don't think it was wasted time, because that helped us put pieces together, and that started us down that path. And because I have the Adahutta, once something gets in my brain, I can't let go of it until I resolve it. And that helped us to establish what we refer to as the timeline.
Of course. I didn't mean it was, but you understand what I meant.
No. And I know it's an hour and a half of my life I'll never get back, but it helped us figure out a lot of things.
And we
wound up on the Untwisted Tea one day going, none of us have watched these videos. Let's watch them.
Right.
And we went, oh my God, it has been here the whole time.
Yeah. And a lot of us, I mean, I got shit in the beginning because everyone was like, oh, you should believe all women. No, you shouldn't. And I don't care who wants to fucking go at me for this sentence. But unfortunately, believing all women will only get us in a situation where the ones that aren't telling the fucking truth are the ones that get the same belief. And that is not okay. Because sure enough, we find this shit out. Like, you don't get to just blanket believe when there are unfortunately women out there that will fucking lie.
Well, London, I will give you a little bit of pushback on that. We definitely should believe all women, but I think it depends on the gravity of the situation. Like the one that we just dealt with, that one we definitely should have been more diligent about. But if somebody does claim assault or
no, okay,
terrible happens,
okay,
absolutely believe them.
Okay, let me articulate better. Believing them at the first interaction is entirely acceptable. However, when their story starts to not make sense, that is when questions need to be asked.
Okay.
Yeah, and I for sure know that Morgan has been put in the same situation by a particular person, which we will not be mentioning. But there are things that I know Morgan and I have been asked to roll videos out for, like, either friends or mutuals, which is like scorned woman stuff, which is different than being a victim. And I don't mean that it is not less impactful if somebody was you said, like, flirting, and you guys thought maybe you guys were more involved and maybe there was cheating. All of that is bad. Okay. Like, it's not good behavior, but there is a difference of being scorned because somebody hurt your feelings and it has ended for whatever reason, to then want to go out and take on somebody's TikTok platform because you think that they crossed a line, and all it was, hey, yeah, look, it's not okay. I'm not going to condone cheating, or, you know what I mean? Like, but I'm sorry, did they move on from you and you're upset that they don't like you as much as they might like somebody else? Right. That's not a reason to, I have definitely been asked to go after a couple of men where I'm like, no. It's a no from me, because even though I think that what they said might be gross, sorry. Like, be a grown up about it and go ahead and tell everybody, hey, this guy's gross. But
you're not going to get the same love from me if when I scroll through your text messages, you've got, I'm keeping these messages. By the way, is this your father? I know where you live.
Exactly.
No, sit the fuck down. You do not get to claim victimhood when someone who has already told you they're not going to release anything and they're not going to do anything, they're just going to keep the information for themselves, and then you want to dig up their father's obituary? I'm sorry, what?
Well, that's part of the messaging when we looked into that more deeply, that we really became aware. And I think that the believe all women versus other stuff, the important thing is that I've come to realize, and the person that you're talking about, which was the point I was trying to make with her, but I was already mad at her, was that, look, I'm going to support you and say, I'm sorry this happened. But I'm not going on the internet for you without sufficient information that some harm has come. Erin threatened Adam. Yeah, that's true. That is also fucking true.
I mean, and that was kind of the funny thing is sort of me and, my team of minions. By the way, they're not my fucking minions. I don't have any control over any human beings, but...
Me neither. I don't either.
London does over me. She does boss me around, and I do listen.
We also don't control Travis, for the fucking record. I
think everyone knows that now,
because as soon as that pink wine lipstick goes on, he is his own train wreck.
You know what's funny about that? The only reason that I hooked onto that was because he had made several comments to me via phone that he needed to check with Sass and J-Mitch to see if he was allowed to do these things. And I was like, what are you, a bitch? Like, what? Why do you need to confirm with somebody else? Two people, by the way, that fucking hate my guts.
Well,
why do you need to confirm with those people if we can have this conversation?
I'll say in his defense with that, he was very overprotective of J-Mitch and Sass. I will say that it definitely wasn't like a controlling thing, because like I said, when that wine lipstick goes on, he is his own man. But he's not like the best person in this world.
Well, I know. I mean, I know that.
But he's not a terrible person.
I would disagree.
There was a brief moment.
I don't know. Once you call me like 700 times at 3 a.m, I don't think you're a good person.
That was the moment that I washed my hands of him. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because I was having a little bit of a mental health crisis one night, and he did stay on the phone with me. But then the moment that we hung up, he called you 473 times.
Yeah,
it was days, and it's not happening now. But I've blocked like literally like all unknown numbers, which eventually I'm going to have to undo because I have doctor's appointments and stuff coming up, and they call me, from like unknown numbers, so I'm going to have to like undo it, which kind of breaks my cover. But I think because I finally was able to like figure that out, it all stopped. And I haven't really said anything about him in a long time. And I don't know that he said anything about me. I don't check on that. Do you know what I was just kind of like, oh, can you just go away?
And I'm not defending Travis's actions.
Yeah, no.
Say this, so please don't take this as me defending him. I just want to put out a little bit of maybe understanding. Is he does have OCD, and he has this. He really wants to prove himself right when he is right, and that's why the crazy phone calls happened, because he was like, no, Is it wrong for him to do that? Absolutely, but just maybe a little bit more of understanding.
Well, for me, like, if I would have
sleep meds and wine are a bad combination.
Oh yeah. Well, I had not given him my info, so that's where it became an issue for me. Because if I had given him my phone number, and because I would have just been like, hey, like, you have privilege to call me and we need to do this at a different date and time. I would have actually had the conversation with him if I had actually given him my info. He went and found it. That's where I was like, no.
And that was kind of the issue with me and Travis, right? Is we go back to 2 years, right? And so I thought this motherfucker was my friend. But when you're hosting lives on the internet in the middle of the night with my face while you're making puke sounds, Justin, you are not innocent in this. There becomes an issue where now it's become personal, you know, and I did. This was my friend. I would speak to him on a daily basis. He bought candles. He bought artwork from Josh. Like, this was a friendship thing. And then he blackmailed me. And then, and then we ended up in a situation where he thought this shit was funny. And then when I would bring something up to him and I'm like, hey, this isn't cool, I sent him a message that said, thanks, my mental health didn't need this. He put it as his backdrop on a fucking live. Like, there wasn't, and I would have preferred, and I know this sounds shit, Susie, but I would have preferred him call me 300 times a night.
I don't blame you.
It wouldn't have gone on 300 times. He would have rung me, I would have answered. The problem is, he fucking didn't. And that was the thing that blew my mind was, you've got an issue with me. You've got my phone number. My phone number is available all across the fucking internet. I blocked him on Discord, but he would have had another way to get to me. And he didn't. He didn't fucking do it once. Didn't do it once. Like, what is the point of going after Susie and Jen? Pick up the phone, call me. I'm the one that you can't seem to keep out of your mouth. And here we are, you're harassing other people for what purpose?
But when we look back at why that happened, it was Tifty's and, I mean, well, J Mitch was there, but it was Tifty's.
Right.
Wanting to get information from him. Like, that's not the calling, the ending of the friendship was about the information that Tifty's wanted from him. But also, one of the things, bringing this back to the people, Randy and Erin, one of the things that happened in August, I think it was, that was wild to me, and I hadn't said anything about it publicly, is that in Swerven's live, Randy sat in a box and Tifty's and blamed Rudy for Travis having shared pictures of his kids and then they posted on the T. Well, you should have known better than to share the pictures with Travis. Are you hearing yourself? Are you not arguing on the internet that somebody took personal pictures of Erin and shared them to people without her permission, and that was the problem? So you're going to sit there and say that Travis, it's Rudy's fault for...
And Rudy, all Rudy was doing, this is the most strangest thing, because when this happened, I fucking defended Travis. That is the most insanest part about this. Rudy will tell you, I fucking defended Travis. I said, there is no way that Travis would have done this. I fucking defended him. So when it blew up in my face that he had given these images to Tifty's and Tifty's had given them to Randy, I rang Rudy. I was fucking in tears. I was like, dude, I am so fucking sorry, because I defended him. I was like, Travis wouldn't do that. Travis wouldn't take a conversation that involved photos that Rudy only sent them to Travis to defend the photoshopped images that Randy was posting. That was the only reason these photos even crossed over. And then Travis took the whole conversation and it ended up on the T. If Rudy would have known that, he would never have sent photos of his kids, like would not have done that. And so when I went toe to toe and I was like, Travis wouldn't have done that. Like, someone must have hacked his Instagram or something along those lines. I felt like a fucking idiot. But again, I was kind of safe, right? Because no one knew that I knew what was going on. So it's not like I had to publicly come on the internet because no one knew I was involved. But I'm fucking on the phone to Rudy like, he wouldn't have done that. I would have unalived on that hill that Travis wouldn't have done that, because I did not believe that Travis would have done that. And then Travis did it with my conversation. And then he put Dan's address out there and gave that to J Mitch and Tifty's. And then during a live said that he didn't fucking do it. And I had the screenshots to prove that he did do it. And he just sat there lying. And he was like, nope, I didn't do that. Where was that? That didn't happen. And I was like, you might actually be nuts. it's taken me way too long to figure this out. You may actually be nuts. So it's just, I guess giving someone the benefit of the doubt took too long. But I never once gave Erin the benefit of the doubt. I didn't, because unfortunately in my personal life, I am on the other side of that. And I have a friend right now who had a woman who did the exact same stuff, and he's in jail and she's not with us anymore. So I'm on the other side because I witnessed that for 4 years. So when people come at me and they go, oh, you should believe the females and not the males. No, because in my real life, I'm on the male side of that. I have a friend who's been through this as a man, and it did not go well. But this guy didn't come to my wedding. He wouldn't even come hang out with me because she would show up. She was nuts. So that's the experience that I have. And so it makes it a little hard when it's like, oh, believe women. Okay, cool. But every woman I've ever believed has turned out to be a liar. Whether that's right or wrong is neither here nor there. That's my experience. Every experience I've had with a man who's claimed DV or claimed a nutty partner, that's turned out to be true. But nobody cares about that information, right? Nobody cares about your real life experience. They care about what's happening on TikTok. And I think that's realistically where the problem ensues, is it's like, you should follow us. And that sort of cult gang behavior is fucking stupid.
But the one thing that if you are, I don't want to say telling the truth because that implies things that I don't want to imply. But if you're talking to friends who are supporting you and they're literally just asking you for clarification on things because they don't understand, if you're telling the truth, you shouldn't flip your lid and start screaming at people and storm off. You should be able to answer the question easily.
100%. 100%.
And that's where things we were finally convinced of, yeah, no. And then I think within a day or two was when Amber and I wound up in Moderate Democrats Live, and I wound up saying things I had no intention of saying when I went in there. I was going in there just to support Amber in the first place, and then, well, my brain started talking before my mouth realized what it was doing. And I said things that made it appear that I was representing everyone when it was really just me. And I, wound up, I think I caught Rudy off guard when he asked me, do you think I did this? And I was like, no. And I think that completely caught him off guard because all we had been doing was making accusations up until that point.
Yeah, and I'm kind of grateful, to be honest, that shit did go pear-shaped. And I know that sounds horrible, but I'm kind of grateful it did, because from that, I discovered some really great friends that had the same mindset as me, but were almost too embarrassed to come on the internet and say that they think Erin's a liar, so rather than stare at me and be like, I can't believe she's just over there thinking that, this human's just, full of shit. I did. There was at no point did I believe her.
Yeah, but to be fair, there were things that she said that were true and are still true.
Oh, but that's the problem.
Level that she allowed people to. She dropped breadcrumbs and allowed people to run with them and create these scenarios in their heads of what we thought it was and never dispelled our assumptions.
Yeah, I don't disbelieve
that we were led to believe that the cucumber was used for this X, but it was really Y, which was very, very benign.
Right. I think that's the thing that that's the thing that sort of baffled me, was there were things that were back-upable. Wow, that's a horrible combination of words. But there were things that I could I could figure out, right? I could look at the text message conversations. I could go, okay, well, that makes sense. I can see how this is equal to this. But then the bits that were missing from the conversation were, oh, it's fine. I have a weapon in my house. What?
Yeah.
I'll go after him. If he says something, I have no doubts that I can handle myself. Why on earth are you telling somebody you barely know that you are willing to cause pain to your husband? Hold on a minute. Something is not right here, right? And I was lucky enough to sort of sit back and look at that before it sort of got massive. So I'd made my decision in the beginning, and I take TikTok realistically with a grain of salt. I know what kind of goes on, but it's taken me a long time to get there. I didn't feel this way back in December, January, right? I was mentally in not a good point when I've got people yelling at me, Tifties, J-Mitch, Coco. I mean, there's a whole slew of people that showed up to my live in December telling me what a shit human being I was. That was a 9-hour live, 7 hours of it being told that I'm an asshole because I'm friends with Travis. Right. And Rosebud, I'm mutuals with Rosebud, and, oh, hell, open up and swallow London. Like, I didn't know how to come back from, when I say come back, I mean, literally breathe from that. And it fucking just went mad. And I left sort of TikTok live, went over to the business situation, and it fucking got worse over there. And it's like, that's the thing that I separated myself and was like, okay, well, I'm not going to attend lives. I'm not going to do any of that. And then it was like, she's a whole shit person. And I was like, I don't need to be involved in this Erin drama, but I can see it. I can see what's happening. And luckily for me, I was able to speak to people on my side that knew the situation. And they were like, we don't believe her. And I was like, cool. As long as we can all run with the same logic, that's great. But I mean, I got help for not believing her.
There was rage bonding involved.
I'm going to jump down, but before I go, I just wanted to say I'm glad we have this line of communication open. And if they do post anything that any of us have said, let's keep this line of communication open, and please talk to us about it. And also keep in mind that during this time, we had a lot of anger issues towards people we didn't even know, which is also fucking silly. And I admit that, but I just want to say I'm glad that this line of communication is open, and if they post something that you have questions about, please reach out. And I'm glad that we can be adults about this. We don't have to go have tea and crumpets together. But,
that was a Michael Scott hate crime.
I had to do that. We don't have to be best friends. We don't have to get pedicures together or, exchange phone numbers or whatever. But as long as we can keep this line of communication open and just realize that a lot of things were said out of anger, and that they will use everything that we've ever said to try to make us all mad at each other and divert away from the real problem, which is Erin D is a fucking liar and Tiffany is a fake social justice warrior.
I hit that in the video too, Jen, and I was like, hey, we took your power away so you can go ahead and drop all the DMs you want. Nobody's going to get mad.
Yeah. And I think that the line of communication is also good because there are some other things should probably be hashed out. Not on this live in particular, but I do think that they should be hashed out, and we have the opportunity to do that in a respectful, normal human being way.
I'm here for the hashing. If it involves me, I am here for the hashing.
Yeah, and anyone, just let this be a warning to you, anyone who has ever been messaging with her, be prepared at any moment in time, your information is going to get dropped in a video, because that, from the moment she entered that Discord of people supporting her, she started screenshotting. Because
she was screenshotting before that.
From the Discord. No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. From the moment she entered that Discord, she was screenshotting.
From the moment she entered it. Sorry, I thought you meant from the moment you're right.
No.
Yeah.
Whether that was her plan from the beginning, I don't know, but it was knowing that the messages, there was a lot of distraction attempted from the message. Like we would start to question things, and then she'd drop a bunch of screenshots from a message train she was in and be like, well, look what this person said about you. Right. And I got all pissed at this person over here for saying, bullshit, and then saying things about my friends, and them getting all pissy, honestly, because you were in a live with us. And that was, back before anyone had ever said a word to me about anything. You were a person I met in late night political lives at that point. And it was over the summer. I mean, it turned side, and it got me, at least me, focused on not listening to what was being said to me, but raging about someone else. And that was the intention, was to distract. I now know that.
I'm going to drop down, and I do want to piggyback off of what Morgan said, that there is more conversations that we do need to have about a particular person, and we'll get to that one day. Not today, obviously, but also, definitely keep that in mind. I think you guys probably have a pretty good idea of who I'm speaking of. But yeah, I just want to thank London and Susie and Jen for sticking up for what's right, and I appreciate it, and I thank you. And I gotta go take care of my husky who wants to bully me. But you guys all have a great day.
Don't let your bird pick your nose.
Who's
one of the things?
My nose.
Is that a thing? Is that what happens? Because if that's what happens, I don't want a bird.
No, well,
my nose. Hating my nose because I had a nose ring, and it was a funny picture.
Oh, well, I have a nose ring, so I'm definitely not getting a bird now.
Bird pick your nose in a live once.
Rillo tries to pick my nose all the time. I don't want him to do it, though. It's not because of allergies, like someone said. It's just because he thinks it's my beak.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, he thinks it's my beak, and so he's trying to birds show they care about each other by regurgitating for them. And this is like bird facts now, but that's what he's trying to do. He's the only one that does it, and I hate it.
That's
kicking him out of my nose.
That's gross.
Yeah,
I just want to share that with you. That's gross.
That's why I try not. I kick him out of it when he does it all the time. One of the things that went on with Erin that I keep going back to in my head when I think about her level of crazy, and the way that she is obsessed with me, is that prior to us ever having had any communication, she was sending Rudy screen recordings of my videos that had nothing to do with him, just my videos in general. We had never spoken, to try to get us to fight with each other, I guess. But then she meets up with me and suddenly wants me to do all this stuff, and now she's back to stalking me in every way that she can. It's fucking weird. It's creepy.
I have a question that maybe you guys can clear up. So, I've obviously talked to. Oh my God, Larry! No, you cannot have a sandwich. Sorry.
Should be arrested for naming your dog Larry. Carry
Larry
on.
And Floyd. Yeah, Larry and Floyd. So
real people names. I'm sorry. Carry on.
There's I would ask about specific questions, and then I've got there was deflection. Oh well, Rudy's the one that dropped the info, and I was like you guys, where's Adam, right? What is tell me about this part of it, and and then it was all very much directive of I did not have an affair, we were separated, blah blah blah, and then it went into I was being spied on in my house, and I'm all this other stuff went on, so I'm confused on which part is Erin claiming to be a victim. Is it because Adam Warlock said something about the photos? Is it because Rudy did something on a live? Is it the husband? I don't know. That's where I'm confused on. If you guys can fill it in.
Rudy,
I only want to be up here real fast, though.
Rudy, if you mention Israel,
I'm not talking about that. I want to be in and out of here really quick. But Morgan, you brought up a good point about that. About referencing. What did you literally repeat? What you just said?
She was sending screen recordings of
Yes,
all
the
of my
screen. Well,
videos to
okay, I
you.
want you to remember that the live I held. I said and the live was recorded. And I said, look, if I really wanted to release the stuff to hurt you, Erin, I would do it, and I would really. That was the stuff that I was talking about. Her bestie knew that. I told her that. I told her, and then her bestie went and told her that, and she goes on the phone with me. I can't get her to act right. She's acting insane. So I want everybody to know I was never, ever going to even talk about the crap with Adam Warlock. They took that and ran with it and manipulated the living hell out. It's just like when my wife said, hey, is that the one who did the pictures? They automatically thought that we had saw these pictures. No, I don't hide anything from my wife. I told my wife that she had sent these stuff. My wife said, Rudy, I don't want you messing with it. Leave it alone. And I did. But these folks hear it and they're so ignorant. They're so their critical thinking is so lapsed that they run with this. And they think I've seen this lady's photos. I never had anything. And you tell folks, you tell them. No one cared. No one cared. They just went with the lie. And they wanted to end me. They wanted to absolutely destroy me over a lie. And she couldn't produce one evidence. And that's the only thing I hope from all the people involved, because it could be you. The next person, you could have a friendship with somebody, and that friend turns on you, and they literally create a mob. And the left on this app is very easily swayed like that. You hear a woman was harmed. Okay. Then they this bigger creator is being mean with no proof. And they deliver that message, and everybody ran with it. And Morgan, yesterday or the day before was in a live with an individual who accused me of beating my wife from all the crap that went on. I literally 300 people heard from this individual that I beat my wife, and I had to get on a live and correct her and tell her all of that was a lie. I've never harmed my wife.
That's nothing. Randy thinks you have a child with Susie.
I have a child with Susie?
Yeah.
Yep.
How's that possible?
I have no idea
what is happening right now.
Dad, London and I were dying.
Justin. So that's interesting. I didn't know that was a thing. When I talk to you and Camille, I've told a lot of people that we as a collective group adore Camille because she trolled you in the funniest way ever. And we talked about the fact that there was a lot of stuff going on, and it was very emotional for you because of the effects that it had on your family, which is why when I discussed doing Surviving Erin D, you and your wife were both on the list. So I guess I got the thing I wanted, because here we are talking about all the shit that Erin D did. Because that did have impacts on your family, and I was part of that, which is why I apologized. And Camille has said that she greatly regrets that. In a moment of anger and frustration, she said something. And I don't think that people should, when they say something wrong, and then they turn around and say, I fucked up, I don't think we need to continue 10 months later still trying to yell at the internet about it. It doesn't make sense to do that.
Right.
No.
I just wanted to come up because Randy's videos, when it says Rudy and Impossible, does he really think that Susie and Rudy have a kid, and that's what that means?
We broke it down. So there was me and two other people on the call, and we broke it down. And I was like, okay, take it word by word. As someone who's British, this is what that sentence means.
Oh my God.
And it says, with a possible one with, and I can't remember the exact words.
Oh.
But with a possible one with Susie,
with trad wife, with trad wife,
yeah, with a possible one with Susie.
That is the most funniest thing that I've. Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's so weird, bro.
I mean, the delusion.
Camille's wife.
You guys gotta realize the obsession with these two folks they have with me. They literally come in my lives that have nothing to do with anything that beside to them. They sit there for hours recording me and then posting it. It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
I got to be honest with you about something. So I helped Susie yesterday draw up child support paperwork. Because she is owed a lot of money.
Obviously.
If that child is not aware you're there for
dad, man.
that was a big
Hey, since I'm going to start help paying for this child, I want to at least meet this child so that way I can become a babysitter.
Yep, I've organized everything. We did the paperwork. I'm booking them on a flight. Like, it's going to be great. And I'm so happy that your family will finally be that of 4 children. Like,
that's just so weird, bro.
Sister wife time.
Heck yeah. Hey, you know what? I should start looking on our street to see if there's a house for sale. So that way, then you can move closer.
Well, Rudy, you're gonna have to grow your hair out and make it look like ramen noodles in order for this to work.
It's so weird, man.
So Rudy, I do want to tell you, because someone mentioned it in the comments. Anything, if you get yourself a YouTube channel if you don't already. Every live that you host, post it on YouTube, and then you can go in and copyright claim anything that he posts of your live because you own the copyright, and he has to take it down.
I mean, I want to tell you guys what's. I mean, all this stuff, what's going on with like the last 7-8 months with this is really bad. But I want to let you know what's really going on. And I talked to Susie a little bit about this. I've gotten doxxed in the last. I think it is last 3 days.
Yeah, like 3 or 4.
My full name, they used my mom's picture, used an account talking to me like they were my mom. Yesterday, they used my underage son's full name. They used my daughter's picture on an account. They're openly going after me and doxing me. Non-stop. I'm trying to. I got to get to the right authorities to get this stuff done. I think it was terrible dealing with this shit with Randy and them guys. But this is really bad. This is really.
That is bad.
This is bad. I had to talk to my son and let him know that these people took information.
For the fucking internet, for some shit you say on the internet, that is mind blowing to me. I'm not saying that I don't believe you.
I want everybody to know this.
That's the most craziest shit.
I talk to some of you guys off the app, and even how mad I am sometimes at you, and people I get upset. You know the thing I've never done? I've never created an account with your name, with your kid's name, or done anything like that. I never did it. I have 3 accounts. This one, my main, and my or whatever, truly Rudy one, whatever it is.
You can do all of that because you were sent all my information. Because
I don't do that.
Hilarious to reveal my entire life in that fucking Discord. She thought that would be funny.
I try my best to be direct with people if I talk to people, and I'm glad that you and Susie and Morgan are talking and are civil with each other. God knows that I tried to do that.
Who ever thought that this would happen?
I did try. I tried.
Rudy did try. That's true.
So let me say this. Let me say this. If any of us
I kept my word. I never shared. I never gave anybody any of those conversations. I never leaked it. God knows people were trying to get it from me. And I told them I wasn't doing it. I don't care what you think. And believe me, I had people block me. How dare you talk to Morgan? How dare you talk to this person? And I did it. And you know what? I was just trying to be a grown person. But I'm glad you guys did it on your own.
Yeah, I'm going to say it right. I'm going to say it right now, just so it doesn't come out. No one's confused. Rudy said to me, "You should speak to Morgan," and I said to Rudy, "You can tell Morgan to fuck off." That is exactly why
I told Rudy. I told Rudy the same thing.
Yeah, she did.
So
I just basically threw my hands up, and I'm like, you know what? I can't get. It's like getting 2 superpowers to freaking talk to each other. It's like, this. It is what it is. But my thing with it is, it's like, I just want everybody to get along. And these 2 people, Randy and Erin needs to go get some mental help, and so does Randy. I mean, I'm serious. I literally, as a person, I try to forgive folks, and like I don't want nothing to do with them. Like I hear about it, like a video they make. They're making fun of Camille, who's apparently Randy thinks it's cool to make fun of my wife, and he does these videos because he wants me to react. He wants to get some type of reaction out of me, and I'm just not going to give it to him. I love my wife. I'm happy with my wife. I'm happily married. Randy, you don't have to find my wife sexually attractive, okay? I do. She's my wife. Okay, you don't have to find her attractive.
I'm pretty sure Camille doesn't think Randy's attractive. I'm just saying. I'm sure it's
right now, so excuse me, you're getting kicked out.
You know, it's just weird that people on here do the stuff that he's doing. He needs the attention because there for a while he was getting a lot of traffic. He was enjoying it, and he had a lot of women giving him attention. He uses TikTok. He uses his Instagram. He uses his YouTube as a way to get close to women. He needs women's attention, and this is the power construct for him. But he uses social media for women. I use social media to talk about politics and other shit. I don't use this to get to women. I have no desire to come on TikTok and look for women. It's not my thing. That's why when people said, "How can you be friends with so many women?" It's because I'm not trying to sleep with them. I'm not. And one thing I'm very proud, all the shit that went down, none of them, not one person, not one single person could show one interaction with me where I was inappropriate with them. Not one single time.
I would just like to say.
But Erin D in a YouTube live with one of her friends kept insinuating.
Yeah,
I think it may have been your live, Rudy. Was insinuating that Rudy had secrets that he didn't want to come out, and kept insinuating, which then led me to get involved to say, "Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing?" And then I lost my shit, and I'm like, "You want to accuse my husband of having secrets? Well, he shared stuff with me. How about I share your secrets?"
My wife is not made for TikTok lives, okay?
I'm not.
She doesn't, and she doesn't have a filter, and everybody knows.
I have a zero filter.
You can say something on TikTok live. Out of that's being angry. You can say everybody runs it 1,000 times, and that's what it is. I put my foot in my mouth plenty of times on lives, and you're like, "Oh, well, they already got me." And there you go, and it's gonna be out there. It is what it is. We're not. No one's perfect.
I do just want to, for anyone that's a little confused, for anyone who thinks I'm gross, you're not involved in this conversation. But the very first time that I spoke to Rudy. Like, at the end of every conversation, Rudy uses the word buddy. And in my head, I'm like, I'm attractive. Why is he calling me buddy?
I do that. I know. I call everybody buddy. And like,
I know.
And
but it's
I'm so careful because like, I'm very aware that I'm a dude talking to
I know.
And
but
like, so I'm very careful how I interact. Because if I say, "Oh, London, I love you to death," and I say it a certain way, people go and they'll take that a certain way, right? So I call everybody buddy, and I'm like, if someone says, "Rudy, I love you," and I go, "I got nothing but love for you too, buddy." That's how I say it, because I don't want someone going, "Oh my God, he told me."
The first time it happened, I was like, okay, that's weird. And then I was like, well, I mean, it makes sense. And obviously, the more I got to know you, I was like, wow, he really does go out of his way to not give the impression that he's like, that you're cool, that like.
Oh, Randy is live right now on YouTube.
Of course he is.
Oh, there will be no babies. Just in case anyone's curious.
Oh my.
Yeah, there'll be no babies.
Well, Randy,
Jen, I was just getting ready to say that I probably should be careful because he may be paying child support to two here.
No, any minute now.
None. That's going to be it. Rudy the multiplier.
Apparently, according to Erin and Randy, I'm with Swervin. I'm with Rudy. I've now claimed Camille and Dawn. I mean, if anybody would like to add to the list of my being a schmore, then
serious. I don't need to have children with you, but if you could just adopt me, that would be super dumb. I'm just saying.
Earlier today, in Randy's PSA of bullshit video that he made, he said that he was going to go live because he had somebody looking into my shooting with all of their information. Whatever.
No. Why?
Oh, he's talking about Toaster Chris. Someone who's openly, violently transphobic is going to look into my personal information.
I have a video of her saying some shit that I never even asked. That's the funniest thing. Justin was there. Justin knows. Justin, I see you. But I have a video of them where Justin booted me out the live after Chris used the C word against me, and then turned around and said, you wanted to ask Randy where he got the information about Sarah Wales from. That was me.
Yeah,
I was like,
her.
I have never asked Randy that at all. I asked J. Mitch. I said, where did you get this information? But I never once fucking went to Randy. Like, if she paid attention, she would know I don't communicate with Randy. So I never asked Randy that question at all, but she took it upon herself on that platform to publicly call me the C word, which she then said, oh no, that wasn't directed at you. I'll send you the video. Everyone can make up their mind about that. That woman is honestly not the nicest human being. And I used to get on well with her. And that's the thing that kind of freaked me out, was it seems like she has gone full force to stand up for Randy, which doesn't make any sense. This stuff's available online. Like, how dumb do you need to be?
Oh goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I know it was Toaster Chris because she told us. He told us it was Toaster Chris. And by the way, just for the purposes of full disclosure, I thought it was really hilarious when Tifties tried to tell you, London, that she wasn't in the live in the Discord when people's information was being doxxed. She literally told us that she can get people's information.
She's the worst.
Marty, didn't she tell you on a phone call one time?
I'm going to tell you something. The one out of all this is I found out that woman had been recording my conversations with her illegally, never told me. I mean, my God, some of it made sense because how she would ask me questions. And then I'm like, it felt like I was on a TikTok live with her. And like, you can never have just a normal conversation with Tiff because everything is like you're on TikTok. You can never just be chill with her. You can just never have a regular conversation because everything turns into, you got to say it this way. I don't appreciate it. I wish you could just be more left. Be more left. She could never just let me be who I am. It's just, and then she's the worst backstabber I've ever met. The absolute liar, deceitful individual. I got to be careful what I say because I'm telling you, she is absolutely the worst. If any men are friends with her and you have told them anything of your personal, let you know. If you have a run-in with her, she will spill it. She will give your personal information. She does not care. She does not care. She spent money on Erin's account and her account to promote a video with my child's picture in it, a picture of me and him at Halloween. She did that, and this is a woman I sent pictures, of Christmas. We were friends. We were really friends. I considered her like a sister. Like I thought I could call her and talk to her and trust her. And it literally was the worst decision. The worst decision I ever made was being friends with her and being friends and ever thinking that giving my number and talking to Erin was the worst decision I've ever made. I had people tell me, don't be her friend. Don't let her be your mod. Don't talk to her. And I said, I'll give everybody a shot. You know what I mean? And it came out to be the worst decision I've ever made on here. And the thing is, I don't understand why people still coexist with her, still allow her in their places, because she's a danger to your family, your job, everything.
Yeah.
She doesn't care, and neither does Randy. Randy will harm your kids, your family, your mom. They will do whatever they have to because they're so desperate to be relative.
Can someone tell me how Randy is live on YouTube so that I can go in there and do my worst?
I just hope everybody
is watching. No one is watching.
No, I want to watch. I want to watch because I can't report if I don't watch. So can someone tell me how he's live? please?
Is it on the fat? Is it on the? Is it on the tea? Like the pineapple tea?
Pineapple twisted tea.
Yeah.
Then I must.
Oh,
need
you have to subscribe.
Oh, I have to subscribe. Ugh! I just pushed that button. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
You have to
I'm not a
subscribe. You
subscriber, I was
can't
just
even get
watching
on to
it.
watch the stuff when they're free.
Well, it's a free subscription, but you have to subscribe in order to watch it. I mean,
Not a
listen.
chance.
And he's no
wanna-
longer live because it's not even coming up as a live. And he has 170 subscribers on this account. There's no way that he's live.
Don't you have to? Can't you just always go live on YouTube?
No, you
Is it Karen on there?
You have to have like 1,000. Oh, it isn't live anymore. Good job, Justin. Then I can unsubscribe.
Okay.
It wasn't. No one was on there because no one. He's not on there because no one was watching.
Wait, he stopped going live because everyone who wants to know the information's here right now.
Right, that's what I said earlier. They're probably all in here screen recording for them.
Morgan, I really hope the dude that did the terrible stuff to you, I hope he gets a very, very, very long prison sentence.
Plea deal. He got a plea deal.
He's put another video up about your
Rick. I know.
If I can tell you anything, the only thing with these individuals is they love the fact that you give them attention.
I know.
Like Camille tells me that he made a video about me. He's recording me, and she'll tell me it, but I won't even go watch. You know what? Because you have to let these folks just sit in the corner and watch you be successful, and go on your lives and talk about the stuff that's important and focus on that, because these are miserable people. They're miserable. They have something that you want, Morgan. If you have people in your life interacting with you, and it doesn't matter what topic it is, they can't have a life because they don't have no talent, Morgan. They don't have the ability to
I don't want to speak for Morgan. I don't want to speak for Morgan, but I think the ignoring would have continued had they not escalated to this point.
Oh, I agree. I agree. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard when they're making fun of my wife. There's stuff that I want to do. I got like the stuff I'm dealing with right now. There's stuff I want to do. I want to make videos and go after it. I know it's a Republican.
Don't say it. Do not say Israel. Do not say Israel.
It's a Republican doing this to me. I know who it is, and I got to deal with it. I want to make videos and go at it but what happens? Be honest with yourself. You do a video at the person, community guideline violation immediately.
Let's go. Just hit me up. Hit me up. Everybody knows that me and Susie have zero issue defending the right people, the wrong people. It's irrelevant right now. So just hit me up. I'll go to town. What are they going to do? Call my boss? Who's that? Me? Like, let's go. Right. Let's go. I'm down.
Right. I hope the fella gets a long time, and then when it's done, Morgan, you know, you get that justice that you deserve, and then when it's done, and when these people are still talking about it, you gotta just advice that I'm giving you is that when you're on here and you're talking about whatever's important to you, you got to put all that into it, and you got to literally ignore these haters.
This isn't something to hate Morgan over, though. Like
no, I know.
So the court, after it's over, there's a lot of things that happen after it's over. But I got to tell you that Morgan's is publicized, mine was not, and I know that Morgan could feel that I was struggling talking about it. That's why they said my video was genuine, right? Like, if somebody were to come on that knows that there's only one person on TikTok that knows the full name, well, maybe I gave it to London, but there's only one person on TikTok, and it's my ex, my in real life ex that I lived with. And he would never drop that person's name. And he's the only one able to search that person with court records because my name isn't going to pop up on those records. The fact is that this was publicized. And even when it's over, they can't ignore it. So it's really easy to say, and I'm not saying that you said anything wrong, Rudy. It's really easy to tell somebody who's been through something like that, oh, ignore the haters that are going to talk about it afterwards. No, it's been 2 years of like, you don't know. Like,
I'm just talking from a creator, from one creator to another. I'm just talking about in drama in general. Going through what I went through on here for 6 to 8 months, going live and having people come in and tell me that I did revenge porn. I hurt women. I'm unsafe for women. I'm a danger to this. All of this shit I had to go through. I had to literally block it. I had to literally ignore it. I had people not come in my lives. I had people abandon me. People completely leave me over this and believe it. And that was the worst of it all, was that people actually believed that I would have done this, that I would receive someone's pictures and look at why would I want it? I had nothing to do with it. I never received it. And, and that was the most aggravating thing, is that people, they did not care what I had to say. And from bottom of my heart, it's because I'm a man. I'm a man. And men are hated. We're hated, and they're easily to make, a man will be easily made out to be the villain so fast. And a lot of folks, and unfortunately, a lot of folks on the left don't have the courage to stand up to a mob. There's few and far between. And I will always be thankful to London and Susie and so many other powerful women that put their voices out there to stand up for me and to say, hey, this guy is telling the truth. And if it wasn't for those women doing it, it took forever, or it maybe never happened, But if anybody listens to Erin or these individuals, I would tell you, man, you pick different friends, because they're not people that you want to trust your private information. They'll hurt you. And I'm just a dude from Ohio. These people are obsessed with me. I'm just a dude from Ohio. I promise you, I'm very boring.
50 followers.
I'm very boring. I do TikToks. I watch football. There's not much excitement. Okay? I'm a very boring person, and I like it that way.
You're very exciting, Rudy. I'm just not exciting.
I don't know.
For me
I just wish they would leave me alone. I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't want to hurt them. I just want to.
They need to go
very
away.
Boring. I like it that way. And I don't know why I'm sitting there in my holding my phone, and I got the mic right next to me, and I think I'm talking into my mic like a dumbass.
That's right. You're having influence
mic, dummy. I'm not even using it. Oh my god! You would have started to see what I was doing.
Nope. We've lost him.
Yeah.
There he is.
I can't influence my kid. I can't influence nobody. I can't influence my kid to clean up their room.
I can't influence my bowels. I stand no chance with people on the fucking internet.
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
We were talking about my bowels, Rudy. That was very rude.
No. I'm just a dude from Ohio, man.
You keep saying that, Rudy, but like you do have
like 165,000 followers. Like,
I know, and
down.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, again, we're not going to mention Israel, but ultimately, like it's very apparent from the conversation that we had months ago and everything that platform and maintaining a specific space is really important to you. And when I like looked at it through a different lens, I could see that was really important to you. And so, like, you're not just a dude from Ohio, like. People do listen to you. That's why you have the following that you have. So you should stop saying that.
Just
I appreciate that you're humble, though.
Humble. It's ridiculous.
Oh, I don't. But I'll tell you this. Well, the thing is, I don't. My thing is it makes me very uncomfortable when people get like. I have people come up and they get nervous to talk to me, and I'm like, why? There's no reason to be nervous. It's just me and you talking. Don't worry about it. I will never get a big head doing that, and I get really turned off when people get a big following, and all of a sudden they think that they are better than the people that are following them, and you watch them talk down to their mods and they'll talk down to people. No. The reason if your platform is successful, it's because the people are liking your stuff, they're sharing your stuff, they're in your live, they're gifting you. Yeah, does it take a little talent to be able to do some stuff on here? Yeah. But you know what? The people, you surround yourself with really smart people, and I've been lucky over the years to have really smart people around me and to learn and on different stuff. But I don't ever let my ego ever get that big, because I know that there's people way smarter than me that don't have that following, and I wish they did. I know when I'm on there, I try to stay as humble as possible and understand that it can be taken away from me. Like my live on my main is taken. I'd be on here on my main right now if I didn't get a 7-day banana. But
you wait till people recognize you in the grocery store.
Or if I'm on
That's
main,
gross.
I'm the same dude all the time. You talk to me privately, I'm the same dude all the time. Yeah. No one. I've only been recognized one time. One time. That was it. And I was like, "Oh God, are you a Trumper?" And they're like, "No."
Is Clapper still a thing, Karen?
That's what I was literally going to go. Like, oh, I forgot that existed.
Yeah. He infiltrated he tried infiltrating a bunch of spaces over there too, but it didn't go well for him. So far as the guy that does this, there's a plea deal in place. It's 5 to 10 years, which means 5 years will definitely be in court. He can have parole after 5 years, but he'll be on parole for the whole 10. It would have been 7 to 14, but they dropped the attempted murder charge because that was the plea deal. But I had a say in that. The district attorney was incredibly inclusive on that decision, and he told me if I wanted to keep fighting it, I could. But after 2 years, it's exhausting. So the sentencing hasn't happened yet, and that's why this is part of the reason why this is so upsetting to me. And they know that, because you have to remember we used to be what I thought were friends. Is because he's not in jail right now. He's out on bail. And even though he's 6 hours away, it's a place I go to visit frequently. So, just to loop it back to that, it is something. I know that he did it to get my attention, and it worked, right? I addressed that in the first video I made. I know that. There's just certain things that I just won't be silent on.
I don't want to
be silent. Don't run.
I don't want to make this worse, but I do just have to say this. He straight up thinks that what he did, and given the video, I think Karen just brought up that she had watched it, given the video that he just posted, he thinks that it's okay what he did to you because of PTSD. And I don't understand how race comes into this, and I've said this numerous times, and people go, "Oh, that's because you're white." It's got nothing to do with that. It's very obvious to see some things that are racially driven. It is not a race thing to attempt to unalive somebody because of PTSD against that race. Because if that's how PTSD works for you, you shouldn't be allowed to drive down the freeway, because you don't have the ability to choose which race is driving next to you or not. So to make it okay, or say that it's okay based on PTSD that this individual may have suffered, and therefore he should get off because he's a black man and you're a white presenting individual, is gross.
Did he say that in the video?
Yeah. So I don't know that you should watch it, Morgan, but you could watch mine. I address it. I said, you just turn this into race, and but I don't even think that he thinks it's okay because of PTSD. I think that he used that and weaponized that because there was a history of something else that happened, and it had nothing to do with Morgan. Do you know what
right? And
whatever happened prior to that moment had nothing to do with Morgan.
I mean, from what I'm understanding, they're trying to say this. So, how do you know how in the world this can be a race thing? You're on the highway. You apparently I don't know if you cut the guy off. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter. He had no right to do what he did. Then he tries to unalive you. That has shit to do. You're just two people. You're two people on the highway.
He
This
said
guy
it
overreacted.
because he used the phrase because Black men can't have PTSD. That's the phrase that he used. And that's when I said, you did not pick this story up off of a news like outlet from anybody else. You did not pick a random person that like has having some sort of racial issue. I was like, you did this because it was Morgan's.
Yeah.
And now you're using that, and it has nothing to do with
also
it.
an individual. This is also an individual who concurrently posts lives and videos from his car. So if you are of that mindset that driving is equal to a PTSD thing with race for you as him, and all I'm doing right now is playing devil's advocate. Obviously, I'm on your side, Sass. But if that is your whole thing, you 1,000% should not be using your phone while driving, right? Like, the PTSD generally makes people a little overconscious rather than so blasé that they're able to multitask a million things while driving a vehicle.
I think Justin's troll game is on point today.
Justin's troll game is usually on point. He's pretty funny.
He's doing pretty good troll game.
I wasn't talking about Randy. I wasn't talking about Randy.
No, so he's making that up. Like, Randy's making all of that up because, I mean, the person who did the shooting is mentally unwell. And one of the things that I've been advocating for since the beginning is that while he's in jail, I want him to have mandatory mental health help because he's mentally unwell. He has delusions that people, not just the police in general, are coming after him. That's a problem that he has a pew-pew. That doesn't take away from the choice he made because there's a dash cam recording from his car with sound where he says, she cut me off, I should shoot her. That wasn't PTSD. He wasn't scared. And Randy doesn't know that because that hasn't been released yet. Like, I don't have my hands on that till after sentencing. One day I will release it. But Randy and Erin also very much know, because one of the things I've talked about with my friends is that, like, I've been very careful about the story involving when it comes to race, because I don't want something, I am a white femme presenting person, and I don't want that to be,
it's a non-issue. It isn't,
and I don't want
like
racist
you tried to run the guy off the road because he was black. You know what I mean?
No, I was swerving out of the way of another car.
Crazy stuff at the man.
It shouldn't be an issue, Rudy.
It's so dumb.
We can't deny that there are a lot of things that happen on TikTok. Like, me and Susie talk about, and it sounds kind of shit when you say it out loud, given the context of this conversation. But Susie and I talk a lot about, like, real life PTSD, where we will second guess saying something because if we said it on TikTok, we'd be trolled. And I know it's not in the same line, Sass, so please don't think that I'm saying it for that reason. But there are so many times when, like, I have to think to myself, like, oh, if I'd have said that and I'd have been on a fucking live, that would have gone bad, right? But it's between someone I know. So, like, the laughing, joking between somebody who's sitting in my house, or I make a comment off something I'm watching on the television or whatever, and then I'm like,
people can be more. You don't have to, when you're just talking. I always tell folks, if you're talking politics or whatever, people can be more relaxed. If you're sitting around a bonfire, you're drinking a beer, and you don't have 500 or 1,000 people watching you every word that you're saying to manipulate it and flip it. When you're just talking amongst people, you can be honest. You can be more relaxed in what you're saying. You don't have to be afraid. Oh my God, this weirdo is in the back of the room recording these, and he's going to put it up there and he's going to cut this to make me look like I'm a racist. You know what I mean? Right. This is TikTok.
We're not even just spanning race in this regard. There are so many things but until you're sort of aware of how TikTok perceives everything and it's not TikTok as a whole, right? It's like 3 people that are watching you like, oh, did you mean this? No, I didn't mean that. Like, I straight up did not mean that. But good job for just twisting that and running with it.
Much. I don't like to text with people. I'd much rather talk to you, because like if I text you, like I can text with my wife and I can completely not be trying to fight. And I'm texting and she's like, "Why are you like that?" I'm like, "Whoa, what? Huh? How did you take that?" And I'm like, "I'm just calling you." Yeah,
Right.
that's why if I talk to somebody, I'm just talking to you, because I don't want something to come across as like me being a dick or an asshole to you. Like, I just want you to hear my words. You know what I mean? It's so easy for a text to be like misconstrued as something, or
I mean,
it's just
I think we've all done it on the, like, what the fuck is that person talking? I think we've all done it.
You read it in the tone that you already have in your head. You don't read it in the tone that it was sent.
Correct. And that's...
We call that...
Sorry, go ahead, Sass.
We call that only on TikTok. The rules that they only apply on TikTok.
Yeah, there are so many of them that it's getting difficult. And it's not just race. You can say something without any malicious intent, and somebody will hear it and be like, you said... I mean, there's a famous clip of me talking about addresses from candle purchases. I've never given anybody's address out. But if you'd listened through that whole live, it was about people approaching me about Rosebud's address. That's what the live was about. And it doesn't matter, because people ran with it, right? Like, I'm out here selling candles and addresses, which is fucking ludicrous. But that's the logic. Still, to this day, 14 months later, nobody's been publicly approached like, "Hey, by the way, I spent $50 and got your address from London." Still to this day, that has never happened. But that was the narrative that was ran with when that wasn't even the topic of conversation. And so it seems like a lot of times, which is funny that we're having this conversation given a comment that was just made on a video, but there isn't a defense for what he's doing. You cannot legally sit here and say, I'm not saying anyone here is doing this, but you can't legally sit here and say, oh, it's okay that he did this because he's black.
Why do you ever ask yourself, why does Randy continue to do it? Why does Randy simp so hard for Erin?
Anybody?
Why
Is their phone doing it? Probably their phone doing it.
There's something going on.
She's WhatsApping him photos of herself. I'm sorry, I couldn't help myself.
Cucumbers.
But what is going on?
Photos are recycled.
What does he get from this? What does he get? I don't understand. What does he get from the relationship?
I don't know. She's got no lips.
I don't understand.
You think that he'd be into a woman with lips? I'm just saying.
Someone also needs to teach her how to take selfies. Because I don't know why she thinks everyone needs to see up her nose all the time. That's just being
Can we talk about her eyebrows? Can we talk about her eyebrows? Like, I'm aware the topic of this conversation.
Look, if they're a couple, maybe, well, if she gets with him, she won't be recorded in her house no more. You know what I mean? She wouldn't have to worry about that. She would be on a live all the time with him. Maybe they would go to sleep together on a live like that one lady does with him. It's fucking weird. People are weirdos.
That is weird. But why?
I just want her to spell check. I just want her to spell check.
That's why I didn't know what he was trying to say in those videos in the description about Rudy, because I was like, they're probably just fucking up their grammar again. Doesn't make any sense. Whatever.
I don't know what he's always they are obsessed. Dude, it's like an obsession. I would tell Erin and Randy, if you want my autograph, just ask. You just ask, bro.
That doesn't sound like a humble Rudy. Where did humble Rudy go? Humble Rudy.
I do know that when they do the videos, and we're in it, okay? Like, we're all in the drama, and there's like no context to like where the text message is coming from, and I'm like, what are they talking about?
Nobody knows.
Like, in the middle of the drama, I'm like, I don't even know what's going on, man.
Like, I go to work, I get off, I'm lucky if I make a video, 2 videos. I go live, I talk about getting yelled at by thousands of people. And then I hear these people are still making videos about this shit that they were shown to be liars. It's like, bro, go get mental help. Go get mental help. Why are you so worried about me? How am I affecting your life?
Why does she look like an emoji? That's all I want to know. Like, why?
It's so weird.
Why is that a thing? Like, I'm going to send her an eyebrow pencil. I'm definitely.
And I will say one thing for you, Sass. You read me perfectly one time when you were You said you won't be able to get to him. You won't be able to do anything because he just doesn't care.
Well,
I'm like,
I mean,
that's the first
that's
time
true.
I'm like, if I could send her a gift and a live when she said that, I would have, because she's absolutely right. I literally don't care.
So it was just pointed out to me.
Don't do
in a
that,
private
Rudy.
text that
people
we have
get
the
the
moral
wrong
high
idea.
ground, and we should probably keep it there.
What? I can't make fun
I'm
of
gonna
the way that they look, because I know categorically she has had zero issue putting my whole fucking information on the internet. Zero issue.
True.
It's true.
That's true.
I do want to go to my neighbor's house and go on their horse and make a video and say, I come to you from my moral high horse. My high horse named Moral. Really bad. Real bad.
That would be hilarious. That would be that's good troll game. I like it.
I then will stitch that and then put out the paternity test.
And wait for the horse to take a shit. Wait for the horse to take a shit.
Oh,
and then
that's
when it drops down, say this. Then put this is what I think of Randy's content.
that's a good point. I'll tell you guys the thing, because we were in a server together, right? We were working together at a point. We told Erin many times, hey, your videos don't make any sense. Nobody's gonna know what this is about. The context is off. No one knows. And she's like, the people who it's about know. And I'm like, no, they don't. No. The amount of times that they've made videos that are pointed at me, and we're like, what does this even mean? They're about me. I don't know.
They like to use that lightning. They like to use lightning in their videos.
Oh, that's Erin.
Oh, it's like, ooh, look at we got lightning, and she's looking all mysterious into the camera.
Scary.
Like,
So scary.
what?
That video is still pinned to my page, by the way.
So weird, man.
That video is still pinned to my page.
Bro.
The let's take a jab at Erin. That is still.
You know what's crazy is now she's going around saying that she never told people that I did revenge stuff. But you can go and see all the videos that she did, and right there it is, all over her screen, accusing me of it
on
nonstop.
her own page.
Yeah, she's so delusional. What in that woman needs help. She needs to go get help.
Yeah,
I feel bad for her. I do. I wonder. I personally,
I feel bad for her kids.
Well, I feel bad for her. She needs to go get help. Randy is something so broken inside of him. And I never, before all this popped off, I never had one bad thing with Randy. Randy would come in my lives. I'd say, hi, Randy. He goes, what's up, Rudy? We would talk, never had an issue. Not once. Not one single time. When all this popped off, Randy never reached out to me. We were mutuals, never said, hey, can I talk to you? Never one time. Never.
Yeah, but that was before Canadian. That was before Canadian Meow Meow got to him. Like that's you have to take
something
into
happened.
consideration.
I don't know. And she said, hey, he believed me, and I didn't have to show no proof.
That Mountie Meow Meow is
and then,
ruling
you know what was
his
weird,
life.
guys? Is he did a video. He said that something happened to him when he was a younger man, and that he was accused of something that he could relate to me. He didn't say me by name, but he said he could relate to a person being accused of something wrongfully. So my thing is, if you could understand my point of view, then you're literally making video after video, you're producing it, you're talking about me, but you have never saw me receiving said content. You never saw me sending it because I never possessed it. Never once. But you didn't care. You literally didn't care. You know what I mean? And that's the fucked up problem with this. Is I literally, when I talked to Warlock, the reason I took the phone call, he said, Rudy, no one's going to believe me. I'm an Hispanic man, and she's Snow White, and everybody's going to believe it. And he was absolutely right. The moment I stood up for him in that live, and I said I didn't believe her, I talked to him, he showed me the proof. Every single of the lefties turned on me so fast. I'm a womanizer. I don't believe women. I'm mean to women. They never, ever considered that this woman had lied. And you know what? She lied on another man of color and said she came to me and told me about this creator that he was in women's DMs. He was going after women. And you know what happened to her over that? Nothing. Nothing ever happened to her. She's still on here doing it. And it's like, why the hell does she get away with this to multiple people?
Right. I'm about to make 947 videos about them, so everybody buckle up.
It's just ridiculous. I don't understand them. Life is short. It's really short. And to spend that much time on me making that many videos, brother, if you want to have a successful YouTube, I don't even try at it, bro. And I got 315 people. I haven't even posted on there forever. If I put 10% of effort, I would smoke you on there. Do you understand that? 10% effort. But I don't. I literally, it's a lot of work just trying to do TikTok. It is. It's a lot of work. I want you to be successful, Randy. Go out and find something that makes you happy, man. If you're a veteran, go out and make videos promoting veteran health and do something that's worthy of your time.
Should we make a crappy candle? We should make a crappy candle and donate the proceeds to mental health.
It doesn't need to be this way.
100%.
My next sassy crappy karma jar is gonna have a pickle inside of it, so I mean a cucumber.
I mean I can make actual pickle smelling candles. Yeah. I'm just saying I can.
You could.
I can.
Just don't make it a piss jar. It's not really pee, just like it's not really magic.
It's all right. She's on a live now anyway, so we'll just move on from that. Anyway, I'm going to drop down because this was not my Saturday plan. I'm pleased that it was, but this was not how my Saturday was going to go. I am free to jump up anytime when it is about these two because I no longer give a fuck. And please let me know if you need me. But I'm gonna go take
I just want them to leave me alone and quit being a weirdo and coming in my live and recording it. And if you want to come in the box,
it's good for
buy 1,000 followers, come up in the box and talk your shit. Quit being a weirdo.
It's good.
Post it on your YouTube and then copyright claim it.
I need to.
That's what I did.
Download, upload. Come on, Rudy. I can teach you the ways.
Some of these lives are 3 hours long.
So download, upload.
This live is gonna get posted on my YouTube so I can copyright claim it because they're in here recording it and they post it. I very clearly told both Erin and Randy that I was done and to leave me alone, and I meant that. Like, I don't want them to have access to me. So anything of my content, that's why you don't see very much of my content actually on his page, because he knows that his channel will keep getting shut down.
Shall I circulate the Mark Safe from Pineapple Twisted Tea? Because that really gets under his skin. Yes. And I'm not sure why that gets under his skin so much, but it does. So, yeah.
Yeah, 0 days. Mark.
But Swerve is right. He's a no talent hack. It's just he likes to use other people's content. He likes to be weird and sit there and record it. I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if the dude was always like that and I just didn't pay attention. But I just say, man, life is short. Go out and live life and enjoy it. Quit simping for these weirdo women from Canada. You don't need it, bro. Find someone down in your state and have some fun. And you don't need TikTok and YouTube to find a woman, man.
Maybe he's trying to get citizenship in another country. Maybe that's his goal for 2024. I'm just saying. Maybe that's his goal. I don't know.
Go look at all of his, I'll tell you what, go look at all of his reposts and see if you can see a trend.
Well, yeah, Karen. Some of the videos I've downloaded and kept because they're fucking gross.
They're very gross.
I would be upset.
No, not his duets, his reposts.
Right. I would be upset if somebody that I knew, like, I would pick up the phone and be like, dude, you're giving like super creepy, gross sexual
that's
vibes.
the thing that I always wondered with this, when all this shit was popping off, they were calling me and Swervin and everybody a misogynist. This guy's putting out videos with a woman, their legs completely spread with weights on her private part. And putting all this stuff out, and then like
there's a lot of
women parts, and I'm like, I'm the misogynist. This dude is putting out
there's videos on that. There's videos on my page.
I'm like, what is the fuck is going on? This guy's weird.
There are videos on my page that show how misogynistic this guy is. And when I brought it up, because I did bring it up, and I said, how do you have the fucking fortitude to go after Rudy and Swerve for misogyny when there are videos of this fucker on my page being misogynistic as shit? And people were like, yeah, no, that's not the same thing.
I don't understand.
I'm sorry,
it.
what?
If I had posted this shit of like fruits and licking another fruit looking like a woman part, my wife would be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Right.
Why'd you put that? My wife would be like, get that shit down, you weirdo. What are you doing? I would be like, I'm like, what the fuck? That's
maybe there's no one in his life to tell him that.
I don't understand it. People are weird on the internet.
We have had to admit that London was right about that too. Rudy is a misogynist. Yes, I'm Rudy. I'm so sorry. I meant Randy. God damn it.
I knew what you meant. My brain fixed
okay.
that word for you, by the way.
Old habits are hard to break, Morgan. It's okay.
Yeah, Randy is definitely Randy is a misogynist. His content is definitely disgusting. We just never really looked at it, to be honest. That's the problem.
I did. It was weird. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. That's
well,
great.
like I said, I asked Tiff one time, I said, why does Randy always only have women in his life? He always just had the same, set of ladies in his life the whole time. And she openly said he's a ladies' man. He uses TikTok to get women.
You can be a ladies' man and not be a fucking pig. Those two things can exist together. What you cannot be is on the internet screaming about misogyny while you've got videos of dehumanizing women for actual pleasure on your fucking TikTok.
Well, a good example of that is Jacoby. Jacoby is quite the ladies' man, and nobody feels like he's a misogynist. And sometimes he says some weird shit and then goes, I said some weird shit.
Nuts. It's very strange. It's very strange. Well, I pray that everybody...
Sounds like Susie might know him pretty well then.
Mm-hmm.
She said quite the ladies, man.
He's a ladies, man.
Did you leave a good review?
He's my favorite person in the entire world. Jacoby's like actually London's my favorite person, but Jacoby's my favorite.
That's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Hey, you shut up, Rudy. Hey, you shut up. I'm going to go. I know I said this. I'm doing like a Midwestern goodbye, but I'm going to fucking go. You guys stop keeping me here. I'm leaving now. Goodbye. Thank you, Sass. Goodbye.
Call me later because Max wanted to say hi to you later.
So the reason that Rudy and Erin, I'm tired. I'm going to have to end the live. Randy and Erin continue to do this is because they have nothing. They have nothing. The race thing that Randy is trying to say, he also tried to say, why is it okay for a white man to post it? You mean my boyfriend? He posted like 2 years ago. I didn't honestly agree with it at the time, but I was also not going to tell Rick how to process his trauma too, because it's also traumatic for him. He almost lost me. And he was 6 hours away and there was nothing he could do about it. Like, that's trauma too. So, yeah, he's allowed. So it's weird for him to say that a white man posted it. Why is that okay? Because his partner was shot. That's why.
Yeah, because and Morgan and I talked about, and I think I talked about it with Jen a little bit, but I have an ex, who was heavily involved with that part of my life, and we're forever connected. I mean, the man still comes over to check on me, and we're not together anymore, and we'll forever be linked because he was the one that had to pick up the pieces during that time, and he had to, again, I think that Morgan could probably have very similar such a scenario where that victim statement is incredibly difficult to write out in the police report, and then to have to do it again on the other side of it. It's not a 5-minute thing. It took me 2.5 hours to fill out 3 paragraphs at the front end of everything to get just to enter in a restraining order. And I had to go to the bathroom and get sick. Do you know what there's nothing and the partners that are dealing with you on the other side of that, they have to stay strong while you're falling apart. And they have their own PTSD from witnessing it. And that's why it's okay for Rick and it's not okay for Randy. That's why.
Well,
it doesn't matter.
I'm going to jump off here. I just wanted to tell everybody, I hope everybody has a good rest of their Saturday. Morgan, I really hope that the dude gets a long prison sentence and then you get some peace and then you can move on and at your own pace, of course. You know, I'm not trying to tell you, but you ladies have a great evening and have a great life. And then when you get your peace, get back to rocking what you do and don't worry about these clowns because they just want to continue to bring you down. They're never going to be happy. They're miserable people. But you guys have a good one. God bless and have an awesome Saturday, folks.
Yeah, thanks for coming by.
No problem.
I also have to do nerdy things and play D&D in a couple hours. So I'm going to end the live anyhow, but I appreciate y'all that came because previous to this, you know, this happening, this never would have happened. And I think that there's an opportunity for lots of other healing to come from this as well. So I really appreciate that. And fuck Erin and Randy.
I agree. Well, I'm gonna drop you my digits in where the DMs are happening. That way, then if you are struggling in the middle of the night, just shoot me a text, okay?
Okay. Thank you, Susie.
You're welcome. And I'm gonna hop off, and you have fun at D&D. My oldest plays D&D all the time, so he's gonna get ready. I'm gonna move off with the computer, and he's gonna go play.
There you go. All right. Well, everyone.